Welcome, everybody, to South Kitsap High School here at Joe Knowles Field and the homecoming game for 2012. This is the final home game for the seniors here tonight, and we are also happy to be coming to you live this evening on SKTV Wave Digital Cable Channel 205. And tonight, the South Kitsap Wolves take on the Stadium Tigers, one of their big rivals in the Narrows League. I'm Darren Bowden, and joining me in the booth tonight will be Dennis Anderson, and Dennis Anderson will be here in the booth in just a few moments. But what ahead for tonight's game should be a good one, as there's a lot on the line, especially for the South Kitsap Wolves. And a big game here tonight, a beautiful evening, a little bit brisk, a little chilly, coming off an incredible rainstorm last night here on the field. And our South Kitsap girls soccer team came away with an excellent and much-needed 6-3 victory over Central Kitsap. And so the field conditions could get a little wet here tonight, but it just wouldn't be South Kitsap football at least once a year until we had some kind of weather down on that field. But I can tell you that the seniors here tonight, especially for the Wolves, are anxious and ready to go to possibly have their very last football game played here at Joe Knowles Field. The Wolves come in with an overall record of 5-2 and a league record of 2-2, but they are going into their 8th game here tonight with must-need wins to help secure a playoff spot and to move up higher in the rankings of the Narrows League as well. Tonight, a huge game versus Stadium, and also going into next week's game versus Central Kitsap, who stands alone in second place with a 6-1 overall record, but 4-1 in league. So, and the Wolves actually have a 3-2 league record. But we're getting ready here tonight as the South Kitsap High School Marching Band will be performing on the national anthem. The color guard for the national for the NJROTC here at South Kitsap High School also will be taking the field. And as we said, the SKHS band, under the direction of Mr. Gary Grams, will be performing the national anthem. The Wolves having a great season under first-year head coach Eric Canton, who South Kitsap started off with a great record, going 3-0. They lost a couple of games, tough games though, to Bellarmine and Olympia. Bellarmine standing atop the standings in the Narrows League, but bouncing back with 2 more wins after that, in which they stand 5-2 overall. So South Kitsap is really looking to capitalize on tonight's win. Stadium has had their troubles this season. They are 0-5 in league, but there are games that you just can't take for granted, and this being one of them. So right now we're going to throw it down to the field as we are going to watch the SKHS band under the direction of Mr. Gary Grams, which will be performing the national anthem.
The colors have cleared the field. And now please join Gary Grams and the South Kitsap Band. The national anthem tonight conducted by Senior Drum Major C.C. Boyd, Junior Drum Major Aaron Niles, and Field Marshal Dan Smith. Our national anthem. boys in football.
Color guard for the SKHS NJROTC just exiting the field after the performance of the SKHS band in the national anthem under the direction of Mr. Gary Grahams here tonight at the last home football game, which also happens to be the homecoming football game here. Always a big game at South Kitsap High School at Joe Knowles Field, but especially for the seniors. And we'd like to welcome everybody once again. I'm Darren Bowden as we come to you live this evening on SKTV Wave Digital Cable Channel 205 as the captains are ready to come out to midfield for the coin toss. The two captains tonight leading the Wolves, number 7, the starting quarterback all season long, Kevin Watley, and number 37, Mr. All-Around, Bryce Broom. But there are a lot of other key players who on this football team, seniors especially, who have really contributed to a great season so far. South Kitsap coming in with an overall record of 5-2, 3-2 in league, and these last two games tonight versus Stadium and also next week versus Central Kitsap, who stands alone in second place in the Narrows League, one game behind Bellarmine, will help determine if the Wolves make the playoffs and determining exactly where the Wolves would go in the playoffs. But South Kitsap started off this year a great record, going 3-0 under first-year head coach Eric Canton, and then they lost a couple of heartbreakers. Great games to two very tough teams, the Bellarmine Lions and the Olympia Bears, two storied football programs in the state, let alone in the Narrows League. But the Wolves bounced back with a couple of victories, where they stand with a 5-2 record overall. So South Kitsap is looking to do some damage here tonight. A beautiful evening for football as we are getting past the halfway point of October, and the temperatures have dropped a little bit. It's a little bit cooler, and a little bit of that dew is forming on the grass here tonight, but it just wouldn't be South Kitsap football unless we had some kind of weather come into play. So South Kitsap, after the coin toss here, they're getting really pumped up down there on the sideline as we are looking for a great game here this evening. So we've got some key players to look for here. South Kitsap coming in with a balanced throwing and running attack. That's usually the tradition here at South Kitsap. Number 7, Kevin Watley, who's got some pretty good wide receivers to throw to. Senior Nick Stoner, number 3, number 11, Tom Simpson, and number 10, Ryan Camp. But in the backfield, South Kitsap going very deep. 3 key running backs, number 25, the senior Adam Gascoigne, number 37, the senior Bryce Broom, and number 24 for the Wolves, the junior Lail Kalima. So all three of them have been doing the duties this year for the running back slot as South Kitsap is going to kick off. Stadium is going to send 2 deep men in the back, standing back near their 10-yard line. So South Kitsap will do the kicking, and also doing the kicking all season long has been senior number 17, R.J. Poland. So what a great way to get this game started here. We've had homecoming activities going on all week, ending with the homecoming assembly. We had a great crowd, a great turnout, and the kids did a nice job as Poland is going to kick off, and he's going to send it deep, unreturnable. It's going to stay in bounds. Stadium picks the ball up at about the 2-yard line, sidesteps, tries, and he just stepped out of bounds. But Stadium is going to have the ball deep in their own territory, and we'll see how Stadium does on their first offensive series. But like we said earlier here tonight, joining me again in the booth here tonight is Dennis Anderson. And Dennis, thanks for joining us here tonight. Should be a great game.
Great game. Good to be here. Let's get it going.
You bet. So South Kitsap is coming out, going to start on defense. Stadium will have the ball at their own 10-yard line. Stadium has some pretty good athletes. They've struggled a little bit here this season, but they are a team that you cannot overlook whatsoever as they come out in a sort of a spread formation. They're going to send one man in motion stays, and they're going to hand off to the running back with a quick dive up front. Starting at quarterback is the junior number 4, Trey Scott. And so for Stadium, they start with a running play here, and we'll see how they are able to get some yards on their offensive series. So that's the key, is to get out deep and try and get some good field position.
Yeah, I've seen the Stadium team play before in the
So they have a 2nd and 6 to go. Scott is going to look for a pass, and he's got a man in the flat, and it is incomplete. The pass was intended for Nick Lofton, number 5 for Stadium, but it'll be incomplete. And Stadium will have their first 3rd down here. A key one because, like we said, Dennis, they are deep in their own territory, and the last thing they want to do is let South Kitsap have good field position here tonight.
Exactly. Their kicking game is a little bit on the weak side, so they want to get that one moving.
So Stadium comes out. They're going to they have double tight ends, one in the slot, far wide receiver. Scott is going to roll to his right. He's got a man. They're going to look for coming on the crossover, but he stumbles a little bit. He does get past. He's going to get near the first down, or I don't know if he did because it looked like he stumbled, and I think he's going to be a few yards short, which he will. He only got a couple on the gain, so it's going to be 4th and 4. So just like that, Stadium's going to be 3 and out.
Yeah, they tried that play going the other way last time, and it looks like the pressure got there. That time, the quarterback beat the pressure and got a little bit of yardage there.
South Kitsap will send Bryce Broom back. He is standing at near midfield. This will be the first punt of the night for Stadium. They spread it out just a little bit there, forcing South. They're not going to get much of a rush right here. But the snap is back. It's a little high. There's a penalty flag, sort of a little squib soccer kick to the side. It takes a Stadium bounce, and it's going to go out at the South Kitsap 47-yard line, but there is a penalty flag back near the 16-yard line, so we will see what the penalty is down there, Dennis. I wasn't quite sure. That's usually in the area of an illegal formation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe movement from the line. I'm not sure what they got there.
And it's an illegal procedure call against Stadium, but I would imagine that South Kitsap will probably decline this, and they'll just take it where it is. It'll be good field position starting at their own 47-yard line. But I don't know. It looks like maybe that they're going to send him back out. I think they're going to make him re-kick this.
I think they want to return. When your punter kicks 20 yards and then it bounces 20 yards, I think they have a feeling that they're going to be able to get some good return yards here. So this is a good idea right here.
Well, South Kitsap would have had good field position, but I think you're right, Dennis, that they've got they're gonna make them re-kick this, scoot them back another 5 yards, and they might even get better field position. And the kick is back, and it's going to be a little squibber, and it's going to go off to the right side again. And the strategy paid off as the ball is going to go out at about the 41-yard line. So South had got about an extra 12, 13 yards on that one. Good call by the coaches for South, making them re-punt the ball.
Right, and I think they've looked at tape and they know what their kicking games looks like, and so yeah, that's always going to be a good call there.
South Kitsap will have the ball right at the Stadium 40-yard line. So, field position is always an important stat for any team in any game, but right off the bat, Stadium had the ball first after the kickoff, and they are not they are not wishing that they would have given South Kitsap such good field position. As the Wolves come out, they have that I formation, and they're going to hand the ball off to the tailback. That's number 5 for the Wolves. That is Chris Willett, the senior running back. And I would imagine that being the senior night tonight, you're going to see a lot of seniors get some action here tonight, Dennis.
Right, all the seniors started, and the same, but it's the same strategy. They're going to run. They're going to run. They're going to run. They've got great running game. They're 4 or 5 deep in their running game. So you're going to see a little bit of this until they get a few scores behind them.
South Kitsap, that's one of the traditions they've had, and already South Kitsap calls a timeout early on, so that is their first timeout of the half, and usually you don't like to see timeouts called so early in a game.
Yeah, they've got, I think they've got some different guys in there, and I think they just all want to get on the same page.
So South Kitsap with their first timeout. The score is tied 0-0 here with 9:47 remaining here in the first quarter, as it's homecoming night here. As a lot of people are coming in, the stands are nice and full, and the band is doing a great job here performing, and the kids are really into it, which is usually a big tradition here at a lot of homecoming games for South Kitsap.
The band is rocking, and looks like Eric Canton was getting in there and just kind of giving these guys that don't usually start, just kind of giving them a heads up, letting them relax a little bit, take a little break, and figure out just kind of figure everything out. So it was a good timeout, I think.
Well, they had a first down at their at the stadium 40-yard line. They got the ball down to the 34, gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. So some of the seniors still staying in. That's Chris Willett still in at tailback. Ilya Svetkov is the running back or the fullback. They're going to hand off to Willett, and he's got a nice cutback. He gets down to the 20. He's down to the 10. 5. He's going to get in for the touchdown, but there's a penalty flag back near the 23-yard line, and Dennis, I'm afraid that's going to come back. That's probably going to be in the area of holding.
That's there you go. You called it.
Oh, it was a great blocking up front right there, but just a little extra hold right there, but you can't fault that line there. What a great job of the blocking up front, freeing Willett to get into the end zone. It would have been a 39-yard touchdown run, but for the senior. But, things like that happen, and the Wolves will just have to capitalize after that.
That was a beautiful hole. I mean, it was a huge hole for Chris to run through, and, man, he hit that hole perfect and fast. What a great run, and that's too bad, but let's see if he can do it again.
And that was a spot foul. The Wolves actually gained a yard on the play right there, and it will be 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 3 from the 38-yard line. So the Wolves spread it out just a little bit now. They send Nick Stoner to the far side of the field. Willett is the lone setback. Watley throws the pass, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was number 10, Ryan Camp, but then a penalty flag comes flying down, and I'm not sure what that one is going to be either. It could be defensive holding. We'll have to wait and see what the call is. And it is. It's pass interference. I think that Camp, he ran about a little 5-yard hitch to turn around and sort of a stop and go. But the defender, the cornerback for Stadium, interfered with him, and that's why it was a little bit of an errant pass by Watley. He was looking for him to go down, and the Wolves get the pass interference call, tack on 15 yards, and the Wolves are going to have a first down near the red zone of Stadium. So South Kitsap, they are on the move. Their first offensive series here tonight. They will have the ball at the Stadium 28-yard line, and now the whistles start blowing once again, as probably looks like an equipment issue of some kind I see down there. The homecoming game here tonight, the Wolves and the Tigers still tied at 0. 9:33 remaining, but the Wolves are on the move. Willett is the lone setback. They're going to hand him off, and he gets a good block, and he puts his head down. Oh, he does a flip. And I'll tell you what, if he'd have flipped his body just a little bit more, he would have stayed right on his feet, could have run into the end zone.
He had another huge hole. That offensive line is doing a great job of moving these guys out of the way.
So, but a nice gain right there, gain of 8 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 2. South has the ball, 2nd and 2 at the Stadium 11-yard line. So they are on the move in the red zone here. They are going in that I formation now. Chris Willett is the tailback. They're going to fake the handoff, and he's got a man out in the flat. The pass is complete, and he is going to go into the end zone. That's number 37, Bryce Broom. Nice pass by Kevin Watley to Broom in the flat, who's wearing the gold helmet tonight, and he gets the touchdown, an 11-yard pass to Bryce Broom. One senior to another.
Nice little pass there, and then the great move by Bryce Broom, like you've seen all year. He really knows how to move his feet and do well in space.
So Bryce Broom, the senior who has been a key figure for the Wolves all night here, gets an 11-yard pass from Kevin Watley out in the flat, and the Wolves are on the board first as the senior R.J. Poland will be doing the kicking here tonight, extra point, and there looks like there's going to be a little offsides on, looks like the Stadium tried to get in there a little too quick, and it will be, I believe, it's going to be an offsides by Stadium, and they're going to either scoot this forward or they might even assess the penalty on the kickoff, so we'll wait and see how this goes, but we're going to see how everything runs here. South Kitsap gets on the board first with the first touchdown. And the call is it's offside on Stadium. It is declined, and the Wolves are going to go for the extra point here. The Wolves quickly get on the board. Stadium had the ball first. They had a 3-and-out series. The Wolves got the ball back, and the kick is up, and it is good. Nice kick by R.J. Poland. And just like that, the Wolves get on the board first, leading 7-0. And speaking of kicking, I'll tell you, Dennis, it was a great story for those of you watching here tonight, the homecoming football game here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School. In Washington State High School football 4A action last night over in the Spokane Valley. The Central Valley Bears took on the Shadle Park Highlanders. Central Valley ended up winning the game 62-55 in a big shootout, but that didn't make the national news like it did for the kicker for Central Valley, who kicked a state record, all-time Washington State best of 67-yard field goal last night. And not only did he kick a 67-yard field goal, but it sent the game into overtime. And then in overtime, Central Valley ended up scoring a touchdown and defeating Shadle Park. But I'll tell you, it was in the news, and I think that young man just probably solidified a college kicking scholarship somewhere. At least I would think so.
Absolutely. I saw that video. He made that with 6 or 7 yards to spare, so it was the real deal.
So South Kitsap kicks off, and Scott, who's the quarterback, the ball, he is back to receive the kick, but in high school football, once the ball crosses the plane, it is automatically a touchback, and Stadium this time will have a little bit better field position as they will have the ball at their own 20-yard line, trailing South Kitsap 7-0 early on in the game.
Aren't you from over in that area?
I'm originally from Eastern Washington, small town Prosser. But my brother actually teaches and coaches over there at Central Valley High School, and so he called me late last night and told me how incredible that game was, and it was a great win for the CV Bears. As they hand the ball, Scott fakes the ball to the fullback, keeps it on a quarterback keeper, only gets a couple where it'll be 2nd and 8. But, yeah, it was quite a game last night, I guess. He kept giving me updates last night as, listening to the CV Shadle Park game. But I couldn't believe it when I saw it. If anybody is interested, you can actually go online to seattletimes.com and look under the sports section and go to high school football, and you can actually watch the kick. And he actually cleared it by a couple of feet. It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Something you're not going to see in a long time.
So Stadium, they're going to pitch the ball to the right side, and he's not going anywhere. A pack of Wolves right there to take him down. In fact, maybe a loss of 1 on the play. Great defensive stop there. We saw Adam Gascoigne and R.J. Poland also in there, and loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Tigers. So Stadium struggling a little bit here in their second offensive series. They're going to have to get something going here. They don't want to fall too far behind to the Wolves on their home field at their homecoming game.
And Adam did a really nice job of drawing that block out and just kind of rolling with the guy who was doing the block, and it was able to contain those guys.
So Stadium has a 3rd and long. Scott under center, and he's going to go for the quick pitch. The quick pass. The intended receiver was number 22 for Stadium, Jacob Bills, and the pass is incomplete. And again, another 3 and out for Stadium. So South Kitsap doing a nice job here on defense as Bryce Broom comes out once again to field a punt. And I'll tell you what, if this happens all night, Stadium's going to have a long night ahead of them.
Yeah, because South is going to contain that run, and then they're going to force them to pass.
Well, the punt is a low liner, and I think they're just trying to keep it away. Also back to receive was the senior Adam Gascoigne for the Wolves, but I don't think they're going to try and let Broom or Gascoigne return it, because I'll tell you, Bryce Broom has been dangerous all season long in returning punts.
Yeah, if they're going to want to return any kind of punt tonight, they're going to have to move up 10, 15, 20 yards, because he does that little side kick thing, and it's low. It's a low to the ground, and the idea is that it bounces 20 yards.
So South Kitsap will have a 1st and 10 from the Stadium 48-yard line. Still very good field position as they break the huddle. They come out here tonight. And we're also going to see a little change at quarterback as sophomore, number 15, Cooper Canton. Big Coop comes in. He's under center. He's going to hand the ball to Bryce Broom. He's got a little bit of blocking, but not until he gets hit right up front. Nice shot by the defensive back, that was the linebacker right there. That was number number 52. That was Cooper Hayes with a great stop, as there was a brief opening for Broom on that line, but Hayes was right there to plug that hole.
Yeah, not much there. That was called pounding yardage there. The hole closed up real quick. They filled that gap up real nice, and almost like they knew where they were going to go there. So
no gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line at Stadium. They're in the I formation. Gascoigne and Broom are now back in at tailback and fullback. They're going to hand the ball, big counter to Gascoigne. He makes a cut up and he stays on his feet. Oh, and he's undercut but taken out at about the 30-yard line. And that's what we're used to seeing right there, as Adam Gascoigne gets a huge gain down to the Stadium 30-yard line. But great blocking up front on that counter play.
That was great. And he found the hole and he dove through it and he got outside, and when you get him outside in space, it's going to take 15, 20 yards just to get him down, and that's what South's looking for.
Tom Simpson splits to the far side of the field. They have 3 wide receivers split to the near side. Gascoigne is the lone setback. Cooper Canton, he looks for his man on the right. He's going for Bryce Broom, and he's got him on the sideline, and then the pass is caught. That's not Broom. That was Tom Simpson making a great catch at about the 1-yard line. Nice throw by Cooper Canton to Tom Simpson. Great pass reception. Cooper Canton was looking at Simpson. They had one-on-one coverage on that far side with the corner, and Simpson made a couple of nice moves and got behind the defensive back, and they're going to have a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And Cooper Canton just threw that right exactly where it should have been. He waited. That was a great throw.
Right where they needed to be. In at tail, Broom is in at fullback, and they're going to hand the ball off to the up back. That's the new tailback who's in. That's number 28, Michael Gundrum, and actually, it looked like it was Gundrum who had that, but then I heard the announcer say that it was Bryce Broom. We might be able to get a replay here, we'll see. But nonetheless, the Wolves get in for the touchdown, and they get in for their 2nd score.
I thought that was Gundrum.
I'm
not sure.
I thought it was number 28, Gundrum.
But on here it says 8 is Kyle Carpenter, so I don't know where we're going with that.
Well, we'll see here where we've got. So we'll try and get our roster set as R.J. Poland has the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 5:52 remaining here in the first quarter, we have South Kitsap leading Stadium 14-0. So, so I think that we have. I think we've got our rosters correct here, because it's easy to identify Bryce Broom because he's got the gold helmet on here tonight.
He does, and he's got the dirty uniform, and he's fast, and he's all over the place, and he's on offense and defense. You're not going to miss Bryce Broom.
That's right. So we'll see if we can check that on the replay eventually. But looked like it was number 28, Michael Gundrum, because we want to make sure that we give due props to the people that get all the scoring done. So, but great job blocking up front. We get a first down or a touchdown for the Wolves. South Kitsap coming out here. Just a beautiful evening, and I'll tell you what a difference that a day makes, especially last night with the heavy rainstorm that hit right during the girls' soccer game versus Central Kitsap.
Yeah, I bet you that was brutal. It looks like the field bounced back real nice. So.
Well, that's what we were saying earlier too. Was just couldn't have a South Kitsap football game with some kind of weather affecting the field. I see a little bit of mud piling up. It's going to be a squib right down the middle, and it stops almost in the mud that they have right in the middle of the field. Taken down, nice tackle there by number 4, Braden Maynard, the sophomore, as he downs the man. But Stadium will have a little bit better field position, but Poland just tried to squib kick that down the middle, and it probably would have got a little bit farther had it not hit all that mud down there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure field position is going to really do a heck of a lot for them right now. They got to figure a lot of things out. We'll see.
They're going to have to look to advance that ball. They're going to send a man in motion. That was number 24. That was Liam Ayers, and they're going to get to the outside. nice job by the running back. That's number 5, Nick Lofton. And Lofton gets the ball past midfield. So just like that, that's the kind of thing that Stadium is looking for, to get a big break and get some momentum going on offense.
There you go. I think I jinxed the defense there for South Kitsap. They had a nice hole to run through, and but that was a nice tackle by number 12, Colby Carter, in open space there. He squared him up and didn't let him get by.
So Stadium coming out with the big run there by Lofton, and they're in business as they are in South Kitsap territory, starting at the 47. They're going to hand the ball off to Lofton one more time, and he tries to spin his way around. Gets a little bit of blocking up front, gains about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Stadium, but that's the kind of thing that Stadium is going to need to do. Hang on to the football, and you don't have to get everything right away. You can just, just a little bit at a time.
Yep, you don't want to try to throw a 150-yard touchdown,
So Stadium coming out here. They are at the South Kitsap 43-yard line. They have split wide receivers. They've got the lone setback, Nick Lofton, the tailback, doing a great job here tonight. Scott's going to send a man in motion. They're going to hand the ball up to the up back, but he gets nothing. They have a quick dive right up front. Might have gained 1 on the play. That was number 21, Frederick Crumbly, but he only gained 1, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 for Stadium, as we have a Stadium player who is down on the field at the moment.
And they haven't had a great amount of luck, Stadium, tonight on 3rd and longs, because they've had to go to the pass, and other than that one slant in, they haven't had a lot of success. So let's see what they do here. I'm kind of betting they're going to try that slant in again, or across the middle pass, so we'll see.
Well, early on, the Wolves got on the board first with an 11-yard touchdown pass from Kevin Watley to Bryce Broom for the first score of the game, and then the Wolves got on the board one more time with a 1-yard touchdown run from Michael Gundrum. A lot of seniors playing here tonight, their last home football game at Joe Knows Field here on the campus of South Kitsap High School. But, the Wolves coming in with a 5-2 record. Hard to believe that it's already, we've gone through 7 games. There's only a couple of games left, including tonight. Boy, the season just goes by quick.
I know, and it's all about seeding now. You go in, you lose a game at the end, and you go in at number 4. It makes it real tough because you got to do a lot of traveling. I was talking to one of the coaches today. Their goal is to be 1st or 2nd, and then it makes it changes the whole playoff story for your team.
Well, the Narrows League has changed quite a bit over the years, with schools coming and going and changing classifications and whatnot, and looks like he's going to be okay. It looks like it's number 55. One of the linemen up front, that's Bubba Vassell, and looks like, that looks like
56?
number 6. Yep, that's Christian Tabiel, and so it's nice to see that he's coming off under his own power. Looked like that he had a slight ankle injury, but good to see that young man up on his feet and walking off under his own power. But we're going to get back to action here, as it's going to be 3rd and 5 for Stadium, and they need to get a first down here. They've got some momentum going on offense, and Scott tries to draw them off, and good job check off at the line of scrimmage. And he is going to hand it to the up back, and that looked like it was Nick Lofton again, but I believe that there was a fumble, and I think that the Wolves got it. I think there was a fumble on the play, and it's a turnover, and just like that, the momentum for the Stadium Tigers has stopped as Lofton fumbled the ball, but South Kitsap recovered the fumble, and they will have the ball at their own 41-yard line. But tough break there for Stadium.
Yeah, I was surprised they went for that little dive there. I thought maybe they'd go a little bit to the right, or they would do that slant in, because that little dive play hasn't been working for them. They've been getting 3 yards, but they needed 5 yards. So I don't really understand what that call was.
Especially earlier with watching, some of the earlier series of plays that they were running, and when they tried to run the ball up in the middle, everything was too tight. And
it was.
Once they spread it out, they seemed to have more room.
Yeah, South is doing a nice job of plugging up right up that middle there.
Cooper Canton, the sophomore for the Wolves, in at quarterback. And there's a fumble on the play right there as well, and I think Stadium got the ball right back. So the South Kitsap taketh away, and then they giveth right back.
There you go.
South Kitsap with their first turnover. Stadium just had the ball, and they had a 3rd and 5, fumbled. South Kitsap recovered, and on the first play from scrimmage, the quarterback, Cooper Canton, he fumbled the ball himself. So it looks like maybe it's getting a little wet down there, a little bit of that evening mist.
Yeah, I think it's still wet down there, even though it hasn't rained for about 20 hours.
Well, we'll see what Stadium can do, see if they can hang on to the ball. They're going to hand the ball off to the man in motion, and that looks like Lofton one more time. No, and then a penalty flag comes in. That was number 21, Frederick Crumbly, on the carry, but a penalty flag came flying in from the back, and they got a gain of about 4 yards on the play, and we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
That's the play they should have ran on 3rd and 5 there.
And this one's going to be against South Kitsap, and it's going to be a face mask. So tack on 15. The ball is at the 33-yard line, and they're going to tack on 15 more yards, and Stadium is going to have great field position. So a fumble by Stadium, and on the ensuing first play by South,
like
they fumbled the ball themselves, and now Stadium, a couple of plays, and they're going to get the ball down here at the 28-yard line of South Kitsap. So Stadium is on the move here. It's still trailing 14-0 with 3:51 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Scott's going to take the ball, fake, roll to his left. He's being chased out of the pocket, and it's tipped. The pass was intended for the man in the flat. Nice job by the senior Shaw Hess, who was putting pressure on Scott. The ball was actually tipped, but it was incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. But great defense right there, especially with defensive pursuit by Hess.
Yeah, that pursuit did not allow the quarterback to turn the way he needed to throw that, and he threw it off balance, and it was just a great jump by the defender there to get a piece of that.
So a 2nd and 10, the South Kitsap 28-yard line. Stadium with great field position. They are on the move. They're going to send a man in motion, and they're going to fake Scott. It's not right there, and he dumps it, and it's caught. Boy, that was really close. A few yards on the gain. Good coverage there by South on the defense. That was Kalima, who was right there also with Sean Booker. But, boy, was there a lot of pressure, and I can't believe that Scott was able to dump the ball to the man in the flat.
He got away for some trouble there, and, he kept his wits about him and found that guy open, and but South was there. Gave him 5 yards.
Lofton was on the receiving end of the pass right there, but it's going to be 3rd and 6, and they have the ball at the 23, just inside the 23-yard line. Scott under center. He's going to send a man in motion, and he's going to hand the ball off to the up back. He's got some good blocking. Oh, and he just kind of went down. I wasn't sure if his feet gave underneath, but that was Nick Lofton, and he gets down inside the 20, spotted at the 19-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down and about 2, a long 2 yards for Stadium.
Yeah, it looks like he was making that next move and might have lost his footing there.
So South Kitsap looking for a big stop here. Stadium has a 4th and 2. Actually, they're calling it 4th and 1 at the 19. Stadium needs to get to the 18-yard line. South would love nothing more. Ooh, they almost draw him off sides. And Scott has the quarterback keeper, and he just goes right, and then a penalty flag comes flying in. And we'll see. That's either going to be a hold or a face mask. We'll have to check the penalty. It came flying in from the side judge. It was placed at the 17-yard line. The officials are talking, and it's going to be a face mask against South Kitsap. So a couple of costly penalties against South Kitsap, and not only that's going to be an automatic first down, and so Stadium is going to have a 1st and 10 from the South Kitsap 12-yard line. Costly mistakes by South Kitsap on defense.
Yeah, they called both those face masks in this series have been 5 yards, so. But those are always automatic first downs, so it doesn't matter how far they go.
So Stadium with a couple of breaks here. 1st and 10 from the South Kitsap 12. Scott is going to send a man in motion. A long count here. He's been doing a good job with that here tonight. And they're going to hand the ball off to Lofton, and he sidesteps his way, gets a couple of blocks, Gets down. Bryce Broom was right there to take him down, but not until he gets a gain of 7 down to the South Kitsap 5, where it'll be 2nd and 3. But great blocking up front by that Stadium offensive line.
Yeah, they're doing some good things on this series. Getting a few breaks, and that always helps. But they're not hurting themselves with penalties or anything like that. So the ball keeps rolling.
Stadium with a 2nd and 3. Scott is going to roll out. He's got a man out, and he throws it near the end zone, but it's going to go out of bounds. Nice job there. He was flushed out of the pocket on defense. Great job by Michael Beard, who put the pressure on Scott, and all he could just do was throw the ball away. Great coverage by the secondary of South Kitsap, and it is going to be 3rd and 3 for Stadium at the South Kitsap 5-yard line. They can still get a first down at the 2.
Good movement through to get to the quarterback, and the quarterback, I think, it looked like he was just throwing it away because of the pressure.
So after a couple of big breaks by Stadium, a couple of costly face mask penalties against South Kitsap, they are in business. Scott is going to send a man in motion. That is Chris in motion, and he's going to just keep it and go straight up the middle. He's going to get close to the end zone, but a penalty flag comes flying in from the sideline one more time, and I think this time it's going to be an illegal procedure call against Stadium. Yep. A little bit too quick out of the gates right there.
A little bit early. They were anxious. You could see that. I think that was might have been number 60.
Yeah, I think the offensive line was just trying to get a little bit of an edge right there in the blocking up front.
68.
And instead of having a 3rd down and 3, they're going to scoot them back, and it should be 3rd and 8 for Stadium back at the 10-yard line. Stadium still trailing 14-0 here with 58 seconds remaining in the first quarter. South Kitsap on the board twice in their first couple of offensive series. The last series they got the ball on a turnover, and then they turned the ball back over, and Stadium is trying to capitalize on that stat right there. And they have a 3rd and 8 at the South Kitsap 10-yard line. Still pretty tight up front with that blocking. Stadium sticking with the running game. Scott is going to fake the handoff, drop straight back, and he's got a man, and he's going for the corner of the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. Great defensive coverage. Stadium coaches are just begging for pass interference. There was a lot of pushing and shoving going on down there, but looked like it was coming from both sides. It was intended for number 22. That is Jacob Bills, and it was incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 8 for Stadium, and I think they're going to go for the field goal.
Yeah, which is a surprise. I haven't seen Stadium kick a field goal all year. I think they would go. Nope, they're going for the field goal.
They are.
There we go.
The ball will be. This will be officially a 27-yard field goal attempt. It's no 67-yarder, I'll tell you that. But Stadium trying to get on the board here. The snap is back. The kick is up, and it is good. And the first points on the board for Stadium, who now trail South Kitsap 14-3 with 24 seconds remaining here at the homecoming game, the final senior homecoming game, and the final game for all seniors here tonight at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School. But despite the colder temperatures and the rainstorm we had last night, it's a beautiful evening for football here tonight, Dennis.
It's great. It's fun to watch these seniors come out here. All the seniors are starting. It's fun to watch these guys come out and get some action. Cooper Canton, a sophomore. He's in my pack class. It's kind of fun to watch him be quarterbacking this team. It's homecoming. It's a great night. It was a great week with all the homecoming stuff going on at the high school. Great assembly today. Got all the cheerleaders out there rocking and rolling, and the band's down there. Love those. I love our band. They're always great.
Gary Grahams does a great job with the band, and actually one of the big highlights today was the flash mob by some of the members of the South Kitsap High School staff, and it was great. Yeah, it was.
Did you do that?
You know, I wasn't able to get down there in time to do it. I was supervising elsewhere in the building, but I did get to see it, and it was really great. We have such a great staff here at South Kitsap High School, and the Stadium Tigers are looking now to kick off from their own 40-yard line. They're going to go for an onside kick. It goes 10 yards, and it was touched by South, but I think that we did recover it. It was pretty tight going on right there, and it was recovered, I think, by number 9, Logan Knowles, and helped secure it right there. Or was that, looked like it was maybe number 5, Chris Willette. But South Kitsap did a good job of hanging on to the ball. They're going to have it at their own 49-yard line. And again, South Kitsap with very good field position.
Yeah, I've watched 2 or 3 stadium games this year, and they've done onside kicks every time. So I'm sure the South coaches saw film. They knew what was coming. They took care of that. But, yeah, I haven't seen them kick a deep kickoff yet. So
Stadium with a 3-4 defensive front here. South Kitsap now coming out. Cooper Canton still in at quarterback. Bryce Broom is the lone setback, and they're going to hand the ball off to Broom. He's got some blocking up front. There goes Broom. He's just driving, and he stays on his feet, puts his hand down. Great job so he wouldn't touch the ground with his knee, and he gets past the 40-yard line down to the 38 where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves. But that's what we've been talking about. We've got great running backs, and Bryce Broom is one of them.
Well, and Bryce Broom's deal is he gets 5 yards after the initial hit. And when you go a whole season like that, you end up getting 500 more yards in a season by getting those extra yards after a hit, and he does a great job of that.
Oh, and he's just tougher than nails too, you know, and does a great job. And I think that the Wolves, they are just going to let time run out here in the first quarter of play as we will switch sides. South Kitsap will have a 1st and 10 from the stadium 38-yard line as we switch sides. But South Kitsap leads stadium 14-3 here at the end of the first quarter. A quick scoring recap. The Wolves got on the board first with an 11-yard touchdown pass from Kevin Watley to Bryce Broom. And then the Wolves got in again on a 1-yard touchdown run from Michael Gundrum. Then after a couple of turnovers, Stadium had the ball and was driving, getting into South Kitsap territory, but they fumbled, and on the ensuing play, South Kitsap fumbled the ball as well. And then Stadium drove down all the way to the South Kitsap 12-yard line. They got as close as the 5, but they couldn't punch it in, and they had to settle for the field goal, and that is where we stand. South Kitsap leading Stadium 14-3 here at Joe Knowles Field at the homecoming game of South Kitsap High School. And a really nice crowd here tonight as the officials have set the ball on the other side of the field. And the Wolves will have a 1st and 10 from the stadium 38-yard line. So South Kitsap is looking to get some more points on the board. They are going to come out quickly, and as they are ready for that ball to be set, there's 4 wide receivers. The lone setback is Bryce Broom. Cooper Canton still in at quarterback, and he's going to fake the handoff, roll to his right, great fake. He's rolling, he's got a man, and he's going to just a little bit high. The intended receiver was actually Kevin Watley, but the pass was incomplete, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves. Cooper Canton, the oldest son of the head coach, Eric Canton, who has come in here to work at quarterback a little bit here tonight. Seen quite a few seniors coming in their last home football game. Cooper Canton stays in at quarterback. South Kitsap staying with this 4 wide receivers spread 2 each side. 1 lone setback. So far it's been Bryce Broom. And they're going to hand the ball off to Broom. He's got some good blocking up front, but not until he's hit. But look at the way that Broom just keeps those legs driving. And he's a very difficult man to take down. Looked like it was number 53, Evan Cofield, who hit him head on, but they still took about 3 or 4 Tigers to take down Broom.
Yeah, and it looks like he got hit at the line of scrimmage there. He still got 2 yards, so there you go. 2 yards after the initial contact.
So a couple of yards right here. The ball is at the stadium 36-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 8. They need to get to the 28-yard line for a 1st down. Broom this time is in at fullback, and at running back is the sophomore, and they're going to hand it off to number 23. That's Marshad DeWalt, who has also been coming in, the sophomore, and he only gains 1 on the play, and it's maybe a couple on the play. It's going to be 4th and 6. So the Wolves have a decision here to make. Cooper Kent still in at quarterback And now he's coming out, and it looks like, or no, he's going to stay in there. They've got Kevin Watley in at a wide receiver slot. The ball is going to be placed just inside the 35-yard line of Stadium. But South Kitsap would love to get a first down here. They still need to get to the 28-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, I don't know if they had some personnel changes that they're trying to get things squared away in there, but things look a little bit different on this series.
So South Kitsap with a big third down right here. It's going to be fourth down, and Cooper Canton's got a man on the slant. I couldn't even say it. And that was Kevin Watley, but a great ball thrown, a nice tight spiral by Cooper Canton, and he just drilled him right in the middle of his hands.
That was a beautiful pass. That was a beautiful route by Kevin Watley.
And better yet, it was a great catch. So Watley did a nice job of hanging on to that bullet, and the Wolves get a first down at the 20-yard line.
So it looks like we might be seeing our future here with this quarterback.
Well, we have a lot of seniors here tonight, and we've got some of these seniors as they are trying to, get some damage done here. Cooper Canton's got a little jacked up now, and they're going to hand the ball up to DeWalt. He's got some blocking up front, and he just barrels his way forward, and he almost gets a first down. The sophomore, I'll tell you what, he's not real tall, but he is tougher than nails, and he can really do some damage himself.
Yeah, he's more of a barrel through the middle, pounded out kind of guy. Bryce Broom's a little more finesse, but with power at the end. But that gets the job done as well. 7, 8 yards there.
Well, DeWalt is hard to take down, and because of his height, and he's such a good runner that it's hard to take him down, and he's able to stay on his feet as he stays in at tailback. Bryce Broom is the fullback. We've got 3 wide receivers. They're going to hand the ball off, fake it off. Nice fake by Cooper Canton. He's got a man out in the flat. He's got him in the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown, South Kitsap. Devin Newquist. Cooper Canton with the 13-yard touchdown pass to Devin Newquist. And just like that, South Kitsap is on the board again. But I'll tell you what, that was all set up by Cooper Canton. A great fake, making it look like it was going to the tailback, and he rolls out to his right. He had all kinds of room. The defense for Stadium bought it hook, line, and sinker, but there comes Devin Newquist running and made the catch. Nice job.
Now, is that Cooper Canton's first touchdown throw, or is he?
That's his first touchdown throw of this game.
Right.
We'll have to check our stats and see about the season, but the extra point is up and good. And South Kitsap now leads Stadium 21-3. Here is the replay set up. What a great fake right there. And he rolls out to his right. He's got a nice ball. And Newquist does a great job of going up and getting the ball and makes the catch. The senior, Devin Newquist, another great kid on the South Kitsap roster, did a great job there.
And Cooper Canton threw that where only his receiver could catch it, too. So that's a big deal. Don't throw it where the other guy could jump up and try to get it. For the Stadium defender.
So South Kitsap with the touchdown, the second touchdown pass of the evening. The first one coming from Kevin Watley to Bryce Broom. They got in for the first score of the night, 7-0, a 1-yard touchdown run by the senior Michael Gundrum. And then Stadium got on the board with a 27-yard field goal after driving into South Kitsap territory. Then with Cooper Canton at the reins of quarterback, he throws a 13-yard touchdown pass to the senior Devin Newquist, and the Wolves are up 21-3. R.J. Poland doing the kicking here tonight for the Wolves, kicking from his own 40-yard line. They've got one deep back, and they're going to kick it, and it's going to go into the end zone. That looks like it was Scott. Trey Scott, also the quarterback, who just let the ball. It was a low liner line drive that went into the end zone. Nice job by R.J. Poland to not let any kind of a return, because I'll tell you, some of those Stadium Tigers, you get them out in the open and they're tough to take down. So we're coming to you live here on SKTV, Wave Broadband Channel 205, the homecoming game here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School. South Kitsap leading Stadium 21-3. Stadium has the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Scott's going to look for a man, and the ball is just short-handed. And boy, I tell you, that was darn near close to being a lateral, but the pass was forward, and it was incomplete. He had a couple of blocks up front going for a little screen pass out to the right. And Stadium has an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 20 for the Tigers. South Kitsap doing a great job on defense here this evening, trying to build a little bit of a big lead. Trey Scott still in at quarterback. Stadium looking to advance. They've had some moments here. They're going to send a man in motion, and they're going to hand the ball off to the up-back, who gets a little bit of blocking up front. Nice job by Lofton. Great job there on the little counter play. A huge run of about 15 yards, and they are going to get all the way to their own 31-yard line. Nice run by Nick Lofton.
Didn't look like South took the fake, but that guy just hit that hole so fast that it ended up being a nice 18-yard.
They get down
15 yard.
Yeah, we're going to spot it at the 35-yard line of Stadium, but nonetheless, it is a 1st down. They're going to send a man in motion. Scott's going to fake the pitch, and they hand it to the up-back again on another little counter. The ball carrier, that's Dylan Richterick, and he takes it all the way down, a gain of about 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 1. So a couple of big running plays here, and we've seen this from Stadium. They've built some nice momentum here tonight, especially with the running game. But I'll tell you, Dennis, they're going to have to get that ball into the end zone if they're going to hang on here against the Wolves.
They are. They're moving it good right now. 9-10 yards on that carry, 9.5 yards on that carry. The contact was made into the 5 yards into that run, and he took those people, the South Kitsap defenders, 4 more yards. So it's slow going. You know, you're going to have to keep doing that to catch up.
They're going to bring out the chains and measure, and I think it is a 1st down because when we saw where they originally spotted the ball, it was just about that side of the 35-yard line, and they just had to bring out the measuring sticks just to make sure, and they do. So a couple of big running plays, a 15-yarder before that, and now a 10-yarder by Rich Tarek, and Stadium is on the move. They've got some momentum going. They're getting some nice blocking up front by that offensive line here. So Stadium trying to keep this momentum going. They're going to have to try and trailing 21-3, and there's a fumble on the play. I think that they recovered their own fumble, but looked like Scott pulled away a little too soon without securing that football.
Yeah, and when Stadium's running like this and they're being successful, it's going to keep South's offense off the field. So,
well, they were piling all of the players off, and Stadium, they were able to. There was a Stadium player at the bottom of that pile. That was number 56. That was Christian Tabali, who he was the one who got hurt earlier. He kind of strained that ankle of his, but he was able to recover that fumble, and that really saved their bacon. So
looks like in a foot of mud too.
That's right. It's starting to get a little bit muddy. You can see down there how some of that mud is, starting to form, getting a little bit of the remnants from last night's rainstorm, and it's a little bit more difficult to get your footing, but everyone's got to do it, and that's true football right there. As they're going to hand the ball off to the up-back, and he's going to stutter step and go straight forward. And he's going to get the 1st down. That was Lofton one more time. A gain of about 8 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 2. And, boy, I'll tell you, there's some big holes being created up front by that Stadium offensive line.
And he was patient. He waited for that hole to open up, and then he sprang through it. Yeah, that was a nice job by him. Good, solid running there.
So Stadium is on the move. But with 6:20 remaining here in the 1st half, trailing 21-3 to South Kitsap, Scott is going to keep it and go straight up over center, but not much getting right there. And it was 3rd and about 3 yards, but he's going to be just a little bit short. He needs to get to the 44-yard line, and he's about 1.5 yards short. They're going to give him a generous spot at about just inside. It's going to be at the 46-yard line, and it's going to be 4th and 2, and I would imagine that Stadium's going to go for it here, which they will. Stadium's got nothing to lose here. They are defeated in league. They are 0-5 coming in, but they are on the move, trying to keep up with South Kitsap, trailing 21-3. They're going to send a man in motion. Scott is going to hand the ball off to the up back, and I think he is going to have the first down, and he will. Good job there by the running back. That was Lofton again, and Lofton is having a really good night, and they do. They get a couple of yards on the play, and it will be first down for Stadium.
Yeah, I thought they'd try that quarterback sneak, which was successful earlier, but it got the job done with that.
So Lofton with the first down carry. The ball is at the South Kitsap 44-yard line. Stadium is slowly inching their way into South Kitsap territory. There looked like a little confusion right there, and Lofton got the handoff with the quick dive off right guard, and he was taken down quickly. Might have Lofton got maybe we got one on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9, but I'm surprised I didn't see a penalty flag on that one. It looked like that everybody, both offense and defense, was out of sync a little bit.
Everybody moved. The timing was off, and I just think that turned into a blown play.
So Stadium coming out here. They've got 2nd and long, 2nd and 9 from the 43-yard line. They're going to fake the handoff and this counter one more time, and South Kitsap stays home. They tried that play earlier, and they got 15 yards, and this time they get snuffed out. Lofton was the ball carrier once again, but great job by that defensive line, anchored there by Michael Beard to stay at home and stop them in their tracks. And in fact, there's going to be a loss of a couple on the play, and it's going to be a loss of about 3, and it'll be 3rd and 12 as Stadium takes their first timeout.
Nice job of with Beard getting through that line and getting penetration through that line real quick. That play was going nowhere just because of the deep penetration of those 3 guys.
So South Kitsap called a timeout early in the first quarter, and Stadium now burns their first timeout. Both sides have 2 timeouts remaining. South Kitsap leads Stadium 21-3 in a must-win situation. I mean, you know, the Wolves have a very good chance. They're going to the playoffs most likely anyway, but the higher that you place in the Narrows League, the better off you are when it comes to playoff seeding.
I know, and none of the South coaches are going to say it's a must-win, but they really want a must-win because they don't want to travel down to, I guess, be Battleground or the Portland area to play, or up north. If you're looking for the easiest way in on your team, it's not driving 3 hours. And the goal is, the more you win, these last couple games, they can win, they can solidify that, and maybe set themselves up a little bit better because everybody knows that if you're not traveling as far, then it's going to be a lot easier on your team.
Well, Scott rolled to his right looking for the pass, but the secondary for South Kitsap was covering every available receiver, and Scott just tucked it under and ran, and he was only able to get a few more yards back, but it's going to be 4th and long for Stadium. And but I think that Stadium is kind of in one of those modes where they're not going to be punting the ball away, where they're just going to try and get the first down everywhere. And they've capitalized on a couple of 4th down plays, so South Kitsap is going to have to stay on their toes here as Scott comes out. He gets the play from the coaches on the sideline. They've got a couple of wide receivers. Scott, and there's a fumble on the play, and it wouldn't matter anyway because South Kitsap is going to take over on downs, but that really is too bad for Stadium right there.
Yeah, it's a slippery ball down there, it looks like. He's done that a couple times.
Well, especially right down there in the heart and soul between about both 30-yard lines, and actually between both 40-yard lines is where where a lot of that mud is right down there. Yeah. And it's hard to hang on to that ball sometimes, let alone get your footing. But, that's part of football, and everybody's got to play in it, so you just have to make your adjustments.
Yep. Looks like they're having their problem from center to quarterback. So
with 3:31 remaining here in the first half, South Kitsap coming out. And Kevin Watley is now back in at quarterback. They've got 4 wide receivers. Watley's going to throw the pass out to Nick Stoner, who makes the catch around the 40-yard line. He tries to escape a tackle. He's kind of hard to bring down, kind of inches his way forward. They're going to give him his forward progress at the 48-yard line, where it'll be second down for the Wolves. So Kevin Watley back in at quarterback for the Wolves. South Kitsap letting that clock wind down, coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in the first half, ahead 21-3. South Kitsap has a couple of wide receivers. They've got 2 split to the near side. And Watley is going to hand the ball off to the up back. That's Adam Gascoigne, and he's got a lot of room. Nobody's going to touch him. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown, South Kitsap. Kevin Watley with the 52-yard touchdown run. And just like that, the Wolves get back on the board. Great blocking up front by that offensive line.
Nice run by Adam Gascoigne. Through that hole, get to the outside, gone. No one's going to catch him. Very nice. What a nice runner.
Adam Gascoigne, the senior running back for South Kitsap, with a 52-yard touchdown run to help widen the lead for the Wolves. Great blocking up front, though, by that offensive line.
Opening huge holes tonight. I was wondering if they were going to bring in their rookie kicker, but nope.
And Poland comes in, and he makes the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And just like that, the Wolves get on the board quickly with 2:36 remaining here in the first half, leading Stadium 28-3. So South Kitsap doing a really good job here tonight on offense.
They are they're not going to score in the 60s in the first half because they run a lot, but very comfortable lead, very comfortable lead.
We've seen a little bit of both for the Wolves. That was the second running touchdown. Earlier we had a 1-yard touchdown run by Michael Gundrum, who got in, and we're still looking to confirm that, but we're pretty sure that's what we saw on the screen here. But we earlier saw Kevin Watley threw an 11-yard touchdown pass to Bryce Broom. Cooper Canton, the sophomore quarterback, had gotten into the game for a few offensive series, threw a 13-yard touchdown pass to Devin Newquist, and now from 52 yards out, Adam Gascoigne gets in for the touchdown, and the Wolves are on the board, leading 28-3, as Poland is going to have a monster kick. This time Scott will return it back from his 3-yard line. He's got some blocking up front. There goes Scott, and he just puts his head down. Boy, he had some room ahead of him, and he got all the way out to the 32-yard line, but a nice job by Scott on the return.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be denied there. He went right after those guys, and nice open field blocks. Tackles by South Kitsap.
So Trey Scott doing it everywhere, and he's been the return man on kickoffs. This time he finally gets to return one, and I think that's why the Wolves don't want to kick him the ball on the kickoff.
Yeah, he has some speed.
He had some great blocking up there with a big hole open, and the Stadium Tigers are in business again. They need to hang on to the ball. They've had a couple of turnovers here. But 32-yard line is where they're going to have. They're going to run the reverse, and now they're going to go for the pitch, and they got the man. Oh, it's intercepted. Nick Stoner with the interception. Nick Stoner with the senior number 3 for the Wolves with the big interception, and the Wolves are going to get the ball back just like that.
There were some possibilities with that play for Stadium. I think the guy who threw it was just a little too soon. If he would have aired that out a little bit, I think there was a chance there. Get it over Stoner and in front of the safety.
Well, the South Kitsap defense didn't really bite for all of the fakes. They went for the reverse, and then on the reverse, the wide receiver stopped and threw back to his left, and Nick Stoner read it the whole way. And credit Nick Stoner for a great job on defense right there. Gets the interception, and the Wolves are in business, and they have the ball at the Stadium 42-yard line. So Kevin Watley's back in. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to go for the home run ball, but he doesn't, and he passes the ball to Adam Gascoigne. He's got a lot of got room, and he puts his head down. Penalty flag comes flying in from both ends. He gets sandwiched by those flags, gets all the way down to the 18-yard line. But we'll have to wait and see. Looks like maybe it could be a face mask and a block in the back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This might come back, but what a beautiful run. That kid is so fast. It's amazing. He covers so much ground in so little time.
Watley was looking down the sideline.
There you go. Can be brought back.
And I think that it is.
That's going to be a hold on the blocker. The blocker out front, maybe.
Yep. And it looks like it's going to be a block in the back. A couple of penalty flags coming in. Watley was going for the deep ball, but he hit Gascoigne in the flat. And Gascoigne was able to get some yards after the catch. But like we said, it's going to be coming back. They actually did gain a few yards on the play. The original line of scrimmage was at the 42-yard line, but put the ball at the stadium 37. So the Wolves are still in business even after the penalty, a spot foul, and it's going to be 1st and 5 from the stadium 37. Watley takes a 3-step drop. He's got Nick Stoner out in the flat, and he eludes a couple of tacklers, and he will have the first down as he gets down to the 27-yard line of stadium. So nice job for the Wolves where they will have a first down.
It's like they might have they've got a lot of time left here. Get another score before the half.
So South Kitsap looking to get on the board once again here. They're going to have a 1st and 10, 1:44 remaining at the stadium 27. Trips wide receivers to the far side. They're going to hand the ball off to the up man. That's Ilya Svetkov. But Svetkov is not going anywhere. Might have given him one on his forward progress. And we're going to spot it at the 26-yard line. But the Wolves are not in any kind of hurry here with a comfortable 28-3 lead with a 2nd and 10 from the stadium 26-yard line.
Tough hit there. You can hear that all the way up here on that last play. Wow.
Svetkov, they're going to pitch the ball once again. That was number 28, Michael Gundrum. And
Michael Gundrum slipping down.
So a 2nd down. It's going to be a 2nd down here. And South Kitsap is going to take that. Will be their 2nd timeout of the half. And the Wolves are going to have a 1st and 10. Or excuse me, a 3rd and long. I'm getting ahead of myself here. They need a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line, but they're going to have a 3rd and 9 to go. So South Kitsap down to 1 timeout left. Under a minute, 56 seconds remaining here, but a 28-3 lead over Stadium. South Kitsap doing a great job here. A couple of pass plays for touchdowns, a couple of runs. You know, Stadium has done a nice job, especially with the running game, but they just haven't been able to punch that ball into the end zone, which has hurt them quite a bit.
Yeah, an interception, a key stop on 3rd or 4th down by South Kitsap. So you got to credit South's defense as much as Stadium's inability to convert and keep moving the ball.
Exactly. So they're going to come in here after the timeout. South Kitsap is down to 1 timeout. They need to get down to the stadium 17-yard line. Bryce Broom is in at fullback. Gascoigne is in at tailback. They're going to stay with a slot wide receiver, 2 wide receivers to the near side. Watley under center. He's going to drop straight back, and he's going to now be flushed out of the pocket, roll to his left, and he's got a man on down the field. The pass is incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Tom Simpson, and he was not able to hang on. Great coverage there by Stadium, and the pass is incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Wolves. We'll see what they do. I think they're going to go for it here. I don't see the kicking team coming out.
This would be a 44-yard field goal, so...
The ball is at the just inside the 26-yard line.
43 yards, a little bit out of his range, I imagine. The field goal kicker's range.
So a 4th and 9. They need to get to the 17. They send trips wide receivers to the far side of the field. Adam Gascoigne is the lone setback. They're going to fake the handoff. Watley's going to roll to his right. He's got a man out in the flat. That's Broom. Makes the catch. He slips a little bit, jumps and hurdles over a man, inches his way forward, and I think he's got the first down. We'll have to wait and see where they spot the ball, but I believe he does have the first down. But they're going to have to, they're going to only stop the clock until they get the chain set. South has one timeout left, 38 seconds. They're going to have to hustle up here.
And he doesn't have that first down until he does that leap.
That's right.
That
he had
was
a nice
incredible.
hurdle over the tackler, and they needed to get to the 17, and they got to the 16. Good job by the Wolves. They've got 38 seconds, 37 seconds remaining here. Near the 15-yard line, mark it officially the 16. Watley's going to throw a pass out into the flat. The pass is incomplete. It was intended for Nick Stoner. A little bit low on the pass, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves. They can still get a first down, but they need to get down to the 6-yard line of Stadium. Stadium would love nothing more than to have a big defensive stop here. Wolves already leading 28-3. Watley gets the play from Coach Canton on the sideline. 35 seconds. That play only took a couple there. Didn't waste too much time. South Kitsap still has one timeout remaining. South Kitsap now comes out. Lone setback is Gascoigne. They've got two wide receivers split both sides. Watley drops back, looks both sides. He's being on the blitz, and he's got a man, and he just lobs it up there. Oh, and a defensive, the pass interference is going to be the call. The pass was intended for Tom Simpson down near the 4-yard line, and he got hit a little too soon before he was able to make the catch. Pass was incomplete, but it'll be a pass interference call, and the Wolves are going to have, they should have a first down around near the 2-yard line.
I don't think we're going to be able to see a replay of that, but I think that was a pretty good call.
Yeah,
he was there
like
a little bit early.
Simpson went up for the pass, and then a defensive back came in from the back side and made contact with Simpson a little too early, and they're going to scoot this forward. Should be half the distance. And it is. It's a pass interference call against Stadium, and it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Wolves. Spot it at, well, we'll wait and see where they're going. The official took the ball down near the 3, and now he's heading all the way back here to about the 8. So once they finally get that established, and it is, we're going to call it the 8-yard line. The Wolves have a 1st and goal from the 8, ahead 28-3 with 26 seconds remaining here. Tight formation, 4 wide receivers. They're going to fake the handoff. Nice job by Watley. Rolls to his left. He's got a man out in the flat, and he flips it to him. Bryce Broom, and he gets hit. Tries to spin around. Does not get in or break the plane of the end zone. And he gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. A stadium player is down on the far sideline, but I think the Wolves call their 3rd and final timeout with 14 seconds remaining. Broom made the catch in the flat, and he was going to get hit by the defender, and when he did, he tried to spin around him out of his grasp, but he didn't work, and but he did get down. They're going to mark it at the where they are. They're going to mark it down at the 1-yard line. Now the Wolves, they are out of timeout, so if they get the ball on this next play, they're going to have to punch that ball into the end zone quickly. South Kitsap leading 28-3 here at the homecoming game at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School, where they are knocking on the door one more time. This was all set up by an interception by the senior Nick Stoner, and the Wolves have the ball down at the stadium 1-yard line, looking to punch it in to add to the score. 28-3, they lead Stadium. South Kitsap taking a little bit of time down there on the sideline. We haven't seen that power I formation yet tonight, which we've seen quite a bit throughout the past. And the Wolves now break the huddle. They're going to come out here. They're still going to have a couple of wide receivers split. And they're going to spread this out a little bit here. They are in that I formation. Gascoigne and Broom, tailback and fullback. Watley is going to take it. They're going to throw it. They're going to have a man. Oh, it was up just a little high. Great defense there, though. That was Trey Scott on the defense, on the coverage. Nice job. It was incomplete, but more importantly, it stops the clock with 12 seconds left.
And that's what that pass will do for you. Either you score or you.
South Kitsap has a 3rd and goal from the stadium 1-yard line.
They'll punch it up the middle this time, I bet.
They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side. Broom is in at fullback. Watley is going to go for the pass one more time, and he's going to throw it up, and the pass is caught. And it is. It's a touchdown. That's Tom Simpson. We had to wait and see. He did make the reception. We were looking to see if he got his feet in bounds, and he did. Nice pass, a 1-yard touchdown pass from Kevin Watley to Tom Simpson, and the Wolves are on the board once again. But it was a great pass, and better yet, a great catch by Tom Simpson.
It was, and it looked like the same formation, and I thought maybe they were trying to do a little trickery there. Same formation, thinking that Stadium would think that they were going to pass and they were going to run up the middle, but they did not, and it worked.
Well, setting up this scoring drive was the interception by Nick Stoner. Prior to that, the Wolves got on the board once again with a 52-yard touchdown run by the senior Adam Gascoigne, and the kick is up, and it is good, and it is 35-3 with 6 seconds remaining here in the first half. So South Kitsap will have a nice, comfortable lead going into halftime. But prior to that, with the Gascoigne touchdown run and then the interception, the Wolves drove all the way down to the stadium 1-yard line. Normally you would think they would punch it in with the run, but Kevin Watley threw the 1-yard touchdown pass to Tom Simpson, another senior, and the Wolves are in business.
And maybe in the second half you could look to see some of the sophomore, younger crew coming out to get some playing time, which is it's going to be kind of fun to watch. A lot of those sophomores are in my class, and they were talking about it today. They saying, "Oh yeah, if we're up a good chunk, then we're probably going to get a chance to play." So it's going to be fun to see those kids out there today.
So South Kitsap with a 1-yard touchdown pass from Kevin Watley to Tom Simpson, and now lead Stadium 35-3. 6 seconds remaining here in the first half, and I can't imagine that either side is going to try and get too cute here and run any kind of specialty plays, and hopefully just run this timeout here and go into halftime, which we have a lot of halftime festivities coming up here, as Poland is going to kick the ball, and it's going to go out of bounds. So the penalty flag will come flying in, and Stadium is going to get the ball with no time off the clock, and they should get the ball, I believe, at their own 35 or 40-yard line. So you never know. Maybe you might see what they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, and if you're South Kitsap, that's exactly what you don't want. You want to run that clock out and head on into the locker room. And
well, we'll have to wait and see here, because I see them staying in the back. I thought normally that they would get the ball at a certain yard line, but it looks like they're going to make them kick it again. And Trey Scott is standing deep in his own territory, standing around his own 5-yard line, and they are. The Wolves are going to be penalized 5 yards, and they are going to have to re-kick this once again.
Wow, they just might have given up 35 yards of field position, but there's only 6 seconds left, so they're probably banking on going for the mother load and getting a run back.
Exactly. So we'll see if Poland can keep the ball in play here, and he's going to this time, and it hits a player, and it's going to be fumbled around, and I think South Kitsap's going to get the ball.
Are you kidding me?
They're going to have the ball. Poland just kicked it as hard as he could straight up the middle, and it just doinked right off one of the stadium up men, and then it bounced around like a pinball, and South Kitsap recovered it at the stadium 42-yard line.
Oh, you got to be lucky once in a while, you know?
So Stadium with an unlucky break right there. South Kitsap is huddled up over on the sideline. I can't imagine they're going to try and go for anything here, but you never know. 3 seconds left remaining here in the first half. Actually, they put 4 seconds left. 4 seconds back up on the board. And we'll have to wait and see what South Kitsap has planned right here. Normally you would just probably take a knee, but they probably will just run one play and go into halftime with a comfortable 35-3 halftime lead. Kevin Watley back in at quarterback. They do have 2 wide receivers. That's Stoner and Simpson. They're going to pitch the ball to Gascoigne. He gets a little bit of blocking up front. There goes Gascoigne, and he's going to be at the 20. He's got a couple of men to beat, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Adam Gascoigne, 42 yards. I can't believe it. South Kitsap with the 42-yard touchdown run by Adam Gascoigne going into halftime. They will have to kick the extra point. Boy, and talk about taking the wind out of your sails.
That was incredible. Great blocking. The fullback coming up to block. That was a key block to send that into overtime there and get him from the 20 into the end zone. That was incredible. What a great play.
Well, and South wasn't even trying to do anything special on that kickoff. They just wanted to keep it in play, and Poland kicked it as hard as he could, and they recovered it on the turnover by Stadium. And from 42 yards out, earlier he had a 52-yard touchdown run, now 42 yards, and the extra point is up and good. And going into halftime, South Kitsap leads Stadium 42-3. So here we are at the end of the first half, and South Kitsap with a comfortable 42-3 lead over the Stadium Tigers in Narrows League play. But now it's time for the 2012 halftime celebration featuring the South Kitsap High School Band, and we will return here at halftime after the halftime festivities with our announcers coming up to the booth, Mr. Mike Downham and Miss Ellen Gordon. So enjoy the halftime, folks.
These headphones are weird.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Halftime 2012. My name is Mike Downham.
And I'm Ellen Gordon.
And we're happy to be with you at what is turning out to be a very festive and joyous homecoming football game. Scores 42-3, kind of a blowout at this point. But now let's turn our attention away from football to the halftime festivities. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the band here in just a second. But Ellen, after the band is through, what can we expect with the homecoming court? Let the people at home know what's going on.
Well, the homecoming court, which has our senior homecoming nominees and our juniors and sophomore homecoming nominees, they're going to be coming out on golf carts, I believe, and they will be stopping somewhere along the track in the front up there where it says South Kitsap Wolves in front of our stands, where we will be announcing some post-high school plans of our nominees, and then the coronation.
And then the big finish. They are going to announce the king and queen this evening, I understand.
Yes, they are. Very exciting. The homecoming dance tomorrow is a red carpet event.
Very exciting. Now, according to my information, the band was going to be playing selections from their Earth, Wind, and Fire halftime show that they've been doing recently, but it looks to me like they are going to go ahead and bring out the homecoming court. Ellen, who do we have first there? Can you make that out?
I believe that looks like Haley Romo and her partner Chandler Van Allen. But I could be wrong. That sign is a little
hard to read.
A little bit.
And, yeah, how about that?
Yes, that does look like Haley Romo and Chandler Van Allen. Those are our sophomore nominees. Haley Romo's post-high school plans are to attend UW and go into mechanical engineering. Chandler Van Allen plans to attend a 4-year college and study physical education, computer network, or game programming.
Okay, let's move to our next couple there that are right behind them. These carts are flying by.
Yes, they are.
So, take it away, Ellen.
It looks like our next couple is the junior nominees, as Jake Stanley and Aubriana Lip. Jake Stanley plans to go straight into the military and then become a firefighter, while Aubriana plans to go to Central Washington University and do a double major in music education and music composition.
Okay. Now, thankfully, the carts have actually stopped, so we'll have a chance to catch up. So we'll wait until our cameras catch up to the next honored couple here. I see one of the football players has joined his candidate, I guess you could, his princess candidate. Would that be something
That's a wonderful term that you've chosen.
So we'll wait for our camera people to show us what's next. The rain, in case you haven't noticed, has started to fall. Take it.
Here we have Ben DeLacy and Keegan Tasker. Keegan Tasker plans on going to Western Washington University, study in international law programming, and plans to attend also the University of San Diego, while Ben DeLacy would plan to go to a four-year college and study in molecular biology. Quite ambitious there.
And we'll move along here. The stadium announcer is also announcing the names of the candidates.
Here we have Ricky Moses and Alex Sandquist. Ricky Moses plans to attend the Disney University, which includes graphic design, and Alex Sandquist would like to go to Central Washington University and study theater and elementary education.
Interesting, interesting. And next we have, moving on down the line.
Here we have Devin Newquist and Emily McKnight. Devin Newquist would like to go to BYN as a full-time missionary for his church, and Emily McKnight would like to be a dental hygienist.
That's card number 2.
Moving on.
Egan Pastor. And Cheryl and Mike.
I see the band is sort of moving into position, so it looks to me like we're going to have the introduction of the court and the king and queen before the band plays. Here's our next couple.
Here we have Chris Willett and Delaney DiGiovanni. Chris plans on going to the University of Iowa and major in psychology, while Delaney plans to going to a four-year college, major in business and management, and maybe dabble a little bit in law.
Both these students are in the video class, so we know them a little better, or at least I know them a little better than some. Chris Willette's had a big first half here at the football game.
Indeed he has.
Escorted by Alex Sandquist.
And waiting for our next couple.
Here we have Mike Brothers and Savannah Gromling. Mike Brothers plans on attending a four-year college and study microbiology, and he very much would like to express that he wants to just get married and start a family. Savannah would like to go to Western Washington University and study chemistry, or go to UW and study dentistry.
Mike Brothers, another video student.
Her escort is Devin Newquist. Parents Valerie and Randy Newquist.
And our next honored couple.
We have Bryce Broom and Nancy Martin.
And is an Eagle Scout.
Bryce, of course, has had a big first half out here on the football field.
Surprisingly enough, he would like to go into a football career, or if that doesn't work out, he would like to go into the science field, while Nancy would like to become a teacher.
ASB, soccer, Key Club,
And I believe we have two more couples down at the end of the line there.
That sounds about right.
Glad we're able to give you pictures of each.
Here we have Megan Sigurdsson and Kyle Sauer. Megan would like to be a sign language interpreter, and Kyle would like to study music with an emphasis on acoustic architecture.
And our final couple for the evening.
Her activities include volleyball, basketball, relay for life, and it's involved in...
There they are. It looks like they got the whole family out there.
Here we have Ilya Shvetkov and Taylor Scott. Ilya would like to go to Pacific Lutheran University and study nursing or to become a paramedic or a family doctor, while Taylor would like to go to BYU and get a degree in programming or public education.
And that is the homecoming court.
A very lovely homecoming court it is. They very represent our school very well.
Now, I think the next thing that's going to happen on the old agenda here is they are going to, in some form, announce the winners, the king and queen. Voting has been taking place all this week by the student body in the lunchroom during all lunches.
Card number 9. Megan Sigurdsson.
I think the stadium announcer is still announcing all of the names, so we beat them as far as getting through. Let's talk a little bit about the Spirit Week that's been going on this week. Each and every day has been had a special emphasis. Yesterday, of course, was Dig Pink. High school was full of pink attire, pink hair, pink accessories. In honor of Dig Pink last night, raising money for breast cancer awareness. What were some of the other Spirit Days, Ellen?
Wednesday, I believe, was Camouflage Day, as a hide from the paparazzi, as we were all pretending to be Hollywood movie stars in our red carpet-themed event. Tuesday was Pajama Day, was it? Or was that
I think it was Pajama Day, actually. Now
a cozy, comfy movie day.
Right. So lots of fun all this week. There was a lot of participation.
We have as a special guest last, Kelsey Rono, our 2011 homecoming queen.
And you can see the rain is starting to fall pretty good down there. Our royalty is getting a little soaked, but they look like they're having a good time. Now let's talk about the pep assembly this afternoon. Oh, wait, I think they're going to announce it. Here we go.
Your 2012 homecoming king and queen are Devin Newquist and Delaney DiGiovanni. Congratulations to the king and queen.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Delaney DiGiovanni and Devin Newquist. And let's see, where are they? So we had Delaney.
There they are. There's Delaney
There
being
they
proud
are.
right there, and she's receiving
And
her
Devin
roses.
Newquist.
And Devin Newquist, our homecoming king.
Now refresh our memory here a little bit, Ellen. Tell us what you know about these two fine, upstanding citizens.
Well, Devin Newquist plans on going to BYU, and he would like to become a full-time missionary for his church, while Delaney DiGiovanni would like to attend a 4-year college, major in business and marketing, and dabble a little bit in law.
In the traditional homecoming garb, they look great. You know, we can talk a little bit about Delaney since, again, she's another one of our video students. I know that she's also on the girls' varsity soccer team. And I know that she would like to be a lawyer, was
Yes.
my understanding. And she does a fine job in the video class. She's a regular on our WTV daily broadcasts. Wet, wet, wet.
They still look fabulous, though, even though the rain is coming down hard on them.
So let's talk about the pep assembly this afternoon, Ellen. How was it?
I was very excited to be there. It was a very, very peppy pep assembly, to say the least.
You know, the last couple of years, the spirit here at South Kitsap High School seems to really seem to be on the incline. It seems to really be growing.
I would definitely agree.
I think one thing that they've been doing at the high school is really encouraging students to come to the pep assemblies, and rather than opening the campus and really releasing students into the community. And the result of that is, I think it's just been awesome for the school spirit. The gym is packed. It gets a little warm in there, but it's pretty exciting.
Personally, I didn't even notice how hot it was in there because I was having such a good time in the cheering section of our senior section in the stands.
Which brings us around to the ASB. Nancy Fairweather does a great job with the ASB, and I would have to say also for the last couple of years, the entertainment value of these pep assemblies has really shot up. This is showbiz. Whenever they get a couple thousand people crammed into that gym, it's showbiz to keep those students entertained and motivated and interested, and they've been doing a great job. So it looks to me like the band is starting to move into place as our king and queen are elevated. It's on, I think that's the drum major's stand there, and getting a few pictures taken. The paparazzi has moved in. In the meantime, the band is kind of marking time, waiting to move into position. As we mentioned earlier, they're going to be playing selections from their field program, which is based on music from the popular, I'm going to go with 70s group, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They are not on the actual football field tonight because of the wet conditions, which are just getting wetter. And so concerned about mud on their uniforms as well as additional damage to this field. A little bit more about the band. You heard a lot about the band in the last couple of years, haven't you, Ellen? What are some of the things that they've done that are pretty amazing?
Well, they actually just last year they went to Hawaii and they performed in the annual Pearl Harbor parade as an anniversary.
Commemorative parade. That was a very prestigious appearance, and I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think they got that invitation because they performed at the Tournament of Roses parade on New Year's Day a couple of years ago, which was a real feather in the cap of the band program and also for our community as a whole, that they were invited to perform in Pasadena for that parade. In any event, today's marching band, 140 members strong, and they have 25 freshmen, which I thought was kind of interesting. future performances that they have coming up. They don't have any huge trips as they've had the last few years. Maybe going to stay a little closer to home for a year. They will be performing at Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. I believe that is the Friday after Thanksgiving, which is traditionally Black Friday, I think is what it's called, Shopping Mania in Seattle. And in the spring, they're headed up to Canada for the Victoria Day Parade. And also in the spring to Portland for the Starlight Parade. So they do a fair amount of traveling, and they are traveling ambassadors for the South Kitsap community, so we're all very proud of them. .6:12 left on the clock here. I suspect what they will plan to do here is perform a couple of numbers, and about that time it'll be time for the second half to begin, and Mr. Bowden and Mr. Anderson to move into position. So, going to the dance, Ellen?
Actually, no, I'm not going to the dance.
Oh, you're missing the big party.
I know. I'm still excited. I will be having a movie night with my friends, though.
Oh, good.
Chocolate ice cream galore.
Oh, good. Okay, I probably shouldn't have put you on the spot about that. I apologize for that.
It's okay, Mr. Downham.
Yeah. Well, it is a big weekend here. Let's talk about the dance tomorrow night. What is that? What's the theme? It's some sort of Hollywood thing.
It's a red carpet event.
A red carpet event. Gotcha. So it's kind of a Hollywood sort of deal.
Yes, a very glamorous and high class sort of
down here in
event.
the Commons. I know they were decorating a little bit earlier this afternoon, looking very nice. I guess I'd also say while we're waiting for the band to start, just as the video instructor here, I want to give you a quick shout out to the video students who have been bringing football to you on SKTV all season. There's a core of students that have been here for every game helping us do these games. Matt Esteron, who does a lot of directing. Ellen, who's with me in the booth tonight, is frequently a camera operator down on the field. Mike Brothers has done a great job for us. He's not operating a camera right now as he was in the homecoming court. And Sergio Lomeli Flores has also done an outstanding job as a junior. And these are sort of the core people that allow us or have allowed us to do these games for you this fall. This is the 15th year that we've done sports for South Kitsap as part of the video production program here at South. And it's been a very exciting and very fun time for myself as the instructor. And as long as we're waiting for the band, I also want to give a shout out to Darren Bowden, who is the lead announcer here tonight. Darren, I think, has been doing our football games for us for about 10 years, if I had to guess. It's all volunteer, and we certainly appreciate his time and energy in doing these games. Of course, Darren continues as a teacher here at South and is now the head basketball coach at Bremerton High School. All right, I think the band's ready, so let's throw it down to them. Earth, Wind, and Fire numbers. And I think that is pretty much it for the halftime celebration here, ladies and gentlemen.
Lovely performance from our SKHS band and their interpretations of the 70s band Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And I sure hated that the old field out there is such a bog. You can see all the bare spots. Between football and soccer, it takes a beating during the season. And we've had a really dry fall, so it really hasn't been that wet. But just in the last week with some pretty heavy rains, it's really turned into a bog, so we didn't get a chance. So we have about 1:20 on the clock there. So Ellen, any last thoughts about Homecoming 2012? You're a senior, kind of bittersweet here as you sort of, I don't know, start to think about wrapping up your high school career here.
Oh, I definitely have been thinking about that. It's my last football game that I'll be able to film this year, or ever even. It's very, very much hitting home. I'm sure all of the other band members, football members, cheer members who just went through their last senior night are feeling the same way I am, but, bigger and better things in the future.
It's interesting about football and fall. I think really is a special time of the year with, just a little chill in the air, and winter sports are fun, spring sports are fun, but there's something about football action and everybody out under the lights that's a lot of fun. So it looks to me like the main men have just filed back into the booth, so we're going to turn it back in over to them. I would like to make just one special mention. Thank you to Matt Swagger for probably 10 years or so doing the graphics work for us and helping us get these shows on the air. And, of course, Ben Blankenship, who's been my para-educator for the last few years and his help in doing these things. So thanks for listening, and we'll turn it back over to the big guys.
Look at this.
Right between you two?
I was told to be a little more lively, Darren.
Maybe you should be.
South Kitsap Marching Band under the direction of Gary Graham. Ladies and gentlemen, attention to the sidelines for the 5 gold helmet winners for this year for the Wolves. These athletes have achieved exceptional numbers of hash marks and play. They are awarded to number 37, Bryce Broom, number 52, number 54, Darren Fuller, number 55, Austin Knaus, and number 61, Damian Medeiros.
But we're now there. We are now. We're back live. We're coming to you guys live here. We just had the kickoff in the second half. South Kitsap coming out after halftime, leading Stadium 42-3. We just had the homecoming festivities here for South Kitsap High School, and a great performance by the South Kitsap High School marching band. And Stadium is now going to kick the ball off here. They'll be kicking from their own 35-yard line. They ran up to kick the ball, and then penalty flags came flying, and so scoot them back. Stadium was offsides as they will re-kick from their own 35-yard line. But we've had quite a game here tonight, mostly from the offensive side of South Kitsap, leading 42-3. And South Kitsap will be receiving the kickoff here. They have a couple of deep men as it is now light. It is raining now here as South Kitsap, there's a little squib kick, and it will be taken down. That's number 29 by South Kitsap. That's Josh Franklin, the junior for South Kitsap, and when he actually made contact with the ball, his knee was down at the 40-yard line. So South Kitsap will take over 1st and 10 for their first offensive series here in the second half. South Kitsap with a comfortable 42-3 lead here. And Dennis, one of the things that we may have to be looking at here is the mercy rule, where they have, if it's over a certain number of points, that the clock automatically keeps running.
Yeah, we could see that here tonight. And we also could see a bunch of sophomores coming in. The word from one of the coaches was if they get up a good amount in the second half, that they're going to give some playing time to the sophomores, so we'll see if that happens.
Well, the Wolves offense comes out. They're going to hand the ball off to Gascoigne, and he stutter steps his way around the right guard, keeps going, gets his momentum to the 45-yard line. Gascoigne had a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. And right before half, Gascoigne had a huge couple of big runs. He scored on touchdown runs of 52 yards and 42 yards. Putting him well over the 100-yard mark here tonight. South Kitsap will have a 2nd and 5 from their own 45-yard line. They've got that I formation. Bryce Broom. Oh, there's a little fumble on the play, and I don't think he was ready for that one. It looked like Watley was not quite ready for that snap. And luckily he recovered it right at about the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 6 is what we'll call it, just inside the 45-yard line of South Kitsap. But like we said, Dennis, earlier, the field conditions are getting a little slipperier, a little muddier, and with those conditions, we've got the rain falling as well. So conditions could be a little tight right here. 3rd down and long, and they're going to pitch the ball to Gascoigne. He gets a block from Broom, and he tries to cut it up, and it's going to be close to the 1st down. There is a penalty flag at the 48-yard line, and that's usually going to be in the area of holding as well. So more penalty flags flying here, Dennis.
Saw a little block in the back, too, on that outside block. I don't know if they called that or maybe there was a hold, like you said. It's going to be a mud bath for the second half, though.
And it is. So it's a block in the back, and I think actually he will have the 1st down, but they're going to send this backwards, and instead of a 1st down, it's going to be 3rd and long. A spot foul it will be. Started off the second half with a penalty on Stadium for offsides on the kickoff, and then South has had a couple of penalties here as well, and some sloppy playing conditions, and sometimes you might see that sort of thing happen as well. It's hard to get your feet established and maybe get blocks like you'd really like to, but we'll see how South responds to this. And they move it back to the original line of scrimmage where it will be 3rd and 10 as the Wolves come out in that I formation. 2 wide receivers split to the near side of the field, and they're going to hand the ball off on the can. He fakes the handoff. Nice job. The catch was made by Broom. He bounces off a tackle, spins around, stays on his feet, tries to get to that 1st down marker. Boy, he took a couple of shots right there. Great fake by Watley. Rolled out to his right, had Broom in the flat, and Broom just couldn't be taken down, and it's going to be 4th and 4 for the Wolves.
He's just amazing on that after the hit running. He looks like he got 6 or 7 more yards.
That shows the toughness of Bryce Broom there and how hard he is to bring down, and what a great runner he is, especially with the yards after catch. And the Wolves are going to go for it here. 4th and 4. They need to get just inside the 50-yard line. Watley's under center. They're going to pitch the ball to Gascoigne. He's get a little bit of blocking up front, cuts up, and he will have the 1st down. They will stop the clock temporarily, but not until Gascoigne gets the 1st down, and they will advance the chains.
Nice job of waiting for his blockers to set up, going right around that lead block, get the 1st down.
1st down for the Wolves. They'll place it at the 49-yard line of Stadium. South Kitsap leads 42-3 here at the homecoming game on the campus of South Kitsap High School, Joe Knowles Field. welcoming everybody on Wave Broadband, channel 205, coming to you live with this homecoming football game, last home football game for the seniors. Wolves have 3 wide receivers. Watley is going to hand the ball off to Gascoigne, and he's got a big hole up the middle, and he cuts back, stays on his feet. Shoestring tackle doesn't take him down until past the 25.
Oh, I thought he was long gone there.
Boy, he's had a couple of big holes open right there. In fact, Gascoigne, I think, is getting near the 200-yard mark for tonight in rushing.
What a great running game they have. It doesn't matter. It seems like it doesn't matter who they put in. They just run.
And coming in now at tailback, Gascoigne's coming out is another senior, number 5, Chris Willett. He actually started the game at tailback, got a couple of big runs, and but he is in now. He's going to be actually they've got him in a slot position. Watley is under center. They got 4 wide receivers. They're going to hand the ball off to Ilya Svetkov, and he just drives his way forward until he's thrown down, and a big penalty flag comes flying in from the side judge. And I think it is. He's looking at a South Kitsap football player's jersey, and it's going to be a hold. And Svetkov had about a gain of 15 all the way down to the stadium 7-yard line, but all for naught, and it's going to be a hold. The penalty flag was thrown at the 13-yard line, and they will scoot it back 10 yards from there, so he's actually probably going to get a couple yards on the gain.
It looked like it might have been a hold from a player that wasn't even in the play there on the outside.
Well, you know, like we said, in these conditions, it starts to get wet and muddy out there, and you're trying to make a block, and you know sometimes you might hold on just a little bit longer than what you'd like to. But
yeah, that wetty's tough.
That's right, it is, especially those wetty mud conditions. You bet. And South Kitsap is going to have a 1st and 9 from the stadium 23-yard line. South Kitsap looking to get on the board. If they score here, they will put the mercy rule on, and the clock should run. South Kitsap 2 wide receivers to the near side. Broom is back in at fullback. They're going to hand the ball off to, that's the senior, that's Chris Willett. He inches his way forward, gets down to the 16-yard line.
And maybe that's what Eric Kenton's idea was there, to get to that mercy rule, get the clock running, and then throw in, put in some other players to get some experience.
Get some of those, get some playing time, and get a little bit of experience, especially some of those seniors being a last football game here tonight at this homecoming game. So the Wolves send 2 wide receivers. That's Newquist and Stoner split to the far side. Willett is the tailback. They're going to hand the ball off to Willett, and he puts his head down, but that one's coming back. And now more penalty flags come flying in. Yeah. And not only is there going to be a hold,
personal foul, probably.
I think there's going to be a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct coming in from the Wolves as well. And that's the kind of thing that you don't really want to see. It's one thing to get penalties, but you like to see the spirit and the drive and the hustle. But you have to be able to know when to hold back.
Yeah, you don't need it, especially when it's 42-3. I'm sure Stadium's getting a little frustrated now, though.
And it's a personal foul against, 2 personal fouls they get going against South Kitsap. I didn't see the first personal foul. I saw the penalty flags come in from the side judge. That's usually in the area of holding, but we saw a little bit of extracurricular activity at the end of that tackle, and that's where we saw the original personal foul.
Yeah, I think there was someone came in and hit someone who was on the ground. That's always going to be called when someone's on the ground and someone comes in and spears them.
Well, the Wolves had a 2nd down looked like it was at the 17-yard line, but they are going to scoot them back, and it is a personal foul against South Kitsap. One of those being enforced, and they're going to scoot them all the way back to the 32-yard line. So South Kitsap got the ball deep in the red zone. Oh, they're going to do a double whammy here. They're going to have both personal fouls. Look like both dead ball personal fouls at the end of that play, and they are going to tack on 30 yards of penalty, and they're going to move it all the way back to the stadium 48-yard line.
Wow, you don't see that very often.
You don't see that too often at all, let alone I think they must have declined the holding penalty, and then they accepted the double personal foul that I can see, unless they've changed it to where, personal foul penalties are now 30 yards, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, they tacked them both on there. It's 2nd and 4,000, it looks like.
So South Kitsap has the ball at the stadium 48-yard line. They've got to get all the way down to the 14-yard line for a first down. And they're going to pitch the ball to Willette. He doesn't have a whole lot of room until he's taken out of bounds. Gained about 3 yards on the play, and now it is going to be 3rd and forever for the Wolves. South Kitsap leading 42-3 with 7:26 remaining here in the 3rd quarter at the homecoming game. The rain coming down. Not a hard rain, but a steady rain. And the Wolves are still looking to get some points on the board. They send out 3 wide receivers. They're in that I formation. Broom and Gascoigne are the backs. 2 far wide receivers. That's Newquist and Stoner split to the far side. Tom Simpson on the near side. They're going to hand the ball off to Gascoigne. He gets a little bit of blocking up front. There goes Gascoigne. Sidesteps his way until he's taken down just inside the 35. They're going to mark it at the 33. And it's going to be 4th and long for the Wolves.
Boy, with this running game, though, you can never count out even a run.
They need 19 yards for the first down, and I think the Wolves are going to go for it here. Even if they don't get it the first down, Stadium will have the ball deep in their own territory. So Kevin Watley on the sideline getting the call from Coach Canton. He comes out. It's going to be 4th and 19. They need to get to the 14-yard line.
You might see a pass here.
They now come out with 4 wide receivers, 3 split to this near side. The lone setback is Gascoigne. Watley is going to drop straight back, look to his right. Now he's looking to his left. He's going to go for the home run ball, and he's going to it goes in and out of the hands of Bryce Broom. For a minute there, it looked like he was going to lead him just a little too far. Broom kept running, and it looked like it went right in and out of his hands. The pass was incomplete, and Stadium will take over on downs.
That was a beautiful pass, a beautiful route by Bryce Broom. I think he got pinched a little bit between the 2 receivers, and that kind of slowed him down a little bit. But as far as timing and route running, that was great.
So South Kitsap went for the home run ball there, and the pass was incomplete to Bryce Broom, and Stadium will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Lofton. Lofton gets up the middle, just short of the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 3. And, like we said earlier, Dennis, Stadium has been doing a great job with the running game here tonight, but the closer they get to that end zone, the more difficult time they've had of punching it in.
I know, and I have to give a lot of credit to South Kitsap because they seem to tighten up a little bit and get the job done when they start moving the ball. And you're right, they have been running the ball well. Stadium.
Scott handed the ball off to Lofton one more time, but he only gained about 1 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 2 for Stadium. So, and they've been kind of doing that all night where they've been running. They've had more of a running game here, and a couple 2 or 3 plays, and then you will see then they bust one out for about 15, 20 yards. So Stadium needs 3 yards for the first down. Scott is under center. He's going to send a man in motion. And they're going to fake the handoff. They go to the inside trap to Lofton, but nothing doing right there. In fact, he's going to lose about 1 on the play. It's going to be 4th down for Stadium at the 40-yard line. And South Kitsap has snuffed that play out a couple of times. They got beat on it earlier. Stadium had about a 15-yard gain, but they haven't been fooled since.
Yeah, and it might be 4 down territory for Stadium for the rest of the night. I don't know. They don't have much of a punting game, so
we haven't seen one yet tonight that I have seen. So
nope.
But they are going to go for it. They only need 3 yards. They send 2 wide receivers split to each side. Trey Scott takes the snap. He's stunner steps, and he's got a man on the slant. Nice pass. The pass was intended and caught by number 23 for the Stadium Tigers, and they're going to have a first down. Nice job. The pass was caught by Buckholtz. Jonathan Buckholtz made the reception on the play, and I think that's only the second pass we've seen tonight.
That's been caught, yeah. They've been staying on the ground, but South's been doing a good job of covering their receivers, so they've had to stay away from that to have success.
1st and 10 Stadium, just inside the 50-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Lofton, and he goes off right tackle. About 3 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 7. So Lofton has been the mainstay of the running game tonight for the Tigers.
Looks like he's hurt. Maybe he's limping a little bit.
And earlier, wet conditions and sometimes your legs and your feet might give out a little bit here and there, but tough young man he is, and he's going to stay in, looks like, at tailback as they come out. We're going to call it a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. They send a man in motion. Scott is going to hand the ball off to Lofton one more time. He just hangs on to the ball, puts his head down, tries to go follow his blockers, and gains a couple more on the play where it's going to be 3rd and long. It's going to be about 3rd and 7 yards to go. They need to get down to the 39-yard line.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen one play all night that they haven't put somebody in motion. I imagine it's to get that lead block that they're still trying to get to work.
Stadium has the ball at the 46-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and long here. Just under 3 minutes remaining. 3rd and 7. Scott's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to go for the home run ball, and he's got a man out in the open, and its pass is intercepted. It's intercepted by Bryce Broom. Great coverage there by Broom. He had a man open. Scott had a man open who was going for the far right corner down near the 20-yard line, but Broom was right there and gets the interception.
Looks like he had a little too much air under that ball. Bryce Broom just went with the receiver, and it almost looked like the ball was being thrown to Bryce Broom again.
He's everywhere.
He's
I'm
amazing.
telling you.
He is amazing.
He is. He's just a Mr. Do-It. Everything, I'll tell you that. And Broom has been everywhere, wearing one of the famous gold helmets tonight, along with some of the other offensive linemen who have earned it up front. And the Wolves are going to take over on downs. And they are going to have the ball at their own 15-yard line where they will have a 1st and 10. Watley's going to hand the ball off to the up back, and he puts his head down, barrels his way forward. That is a nice run there. That is the senior, number 28 for the Wolves.
Gundrum.
That's Gundrum, Michael Gundrum, who had a 1-yard touchdown run earlier, the second score of the game for the Wolves, who is now in at tailback, sharing the running duties here. Adam Gascoigne having a big night, nearing 200 yards rushing overall, especially before the half was over. The first half scores of 52 and 42 yards. Trey Scott made the tackle for the Tigers as the Wolves come out. Gundrum is the lone setback. 4 wide receivers for the Wolves. And looked like one of those linemen was just a little anxious to get off the line there. It'll be an illegal procedure call against South Kitsap. Scoot him back 5 yards. 2nd and 6, or 2nd and 4. Now it'll be 2nd and 9, deep from their own 16-yard line. Gundrum remains the lone setback. Watley is going to hand the ball off to Gundrum. He's got a block here up front. Boy, he's got a lot of room. Puts his head down. Nice run by Gundrum, and he is going to have the first down by a mile.
Beautiful run. Beautiful run.
Great blocking up front. Right when Watley handed the ball off to him, it was like parting of the Red Sea, and he got his way all the way up to the 35-yard line.
A huge hole there.
Great blocking up front by that offensive line as the clock continues to run here. South Kitsap leading 42-3 with just under a minute and a half left in the third quarter of play. Gundrum remains in at tailback. Watley's going to hand the ball off to Gundrum, and he puts his head down, but he's gone backwards. Nice tackle there on defense by Stadium. Great tackle there, number 50. That was Mukhtar Mohammed, who came in and said, "You're not going anywhere but backwards," and he gained nothing on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
Yeah, Mohammed's a sophomore.
The
6-foot outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker making a big stick right there. Kevin Watley still in at quarterback for the Wolves, the senior. Starting to see a few more substitutions coming in for the Wolves. Time running down here at the end of the 3rd quarter. They're going to hand the ball off to Gundrum, and he slips and falls and loses his footing, stays on his feet, tries to get forward, but nothing doing right there. And it's going to be 3rd down, practically no gain on the play. And actually that time it was Adam Gascoigne. And Svetkov now comes out, but Gascoigne had the carry on that last one, and it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and about 9 for the Wolves. But the Wolves are going to let time expire here. The end of the 3rd quarter. South Kitsap, they're going to change ends here, and South Kitsap leads Stadium 42-3 going into the final quarter of play. And not to get too far ahead, but I think, Dennis, it's kind of safe to say now that we're going to start seeing some more substitutions in this game and getting some extra players in there for South Kitsap for some experience.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of white uniforms. It's time to get some more guys muddy.
That's right. You can tell who's been playing and who hasn't because they're going to, and don't forget, you might want to get a little wetty too.
Wetty, yeah,
wetty.
That's
right, wetty and muddy. And
that's a new word in the dictionary.
That's right. Well, sometimes that's we have a lot of fun up here in the booth with our vocabulary that we have to describe what's going on down on the field of play. So. But we're going into the 4th quarter here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School. South Kitsap leading their homecoming football game. The last game for the seniors at home here at Joe Knowles Field, 42-3 over Stadium. They are going to switch sides. The ball is going to be placed at the 36-yard line.
And Darren, I know Eric really wants to get the sophomores in, but it's tough on senior night. Homecoming night, but I think we're going to see some sophomores in here coming up.
I think we'll see a lot of substitutions.
There's Cooper Canton right there.
Especially with, Cooper Canton now in, the sophomore quarterback for the Wolves. And a lot of the seniors had a lot of playing time in those first 3 quarters. And they're going to hand the ball off to Willett, and he's got a big hole up the middle. He winds his way around down to the 45-yard line. Nice job by Willett, who was able to get a big gain on the play all the way down to the 45-yard line by the senior. Nice run by Willett. First down for the Wolves. Chris Willett, the senior, started the game at tailback and now coming in, getting some more playing time. And I'll tell you what, if he has big runs like that, he might actually crack that 100-yard mark himself. So the Wolves come out in that I formation. They send a couple of wide receivers to the far side. Cooper Canton under center, and he's going to hand the ball off to Willett one more time. Oh, and he's got a couple of big blocks, but he was tripped up. And I think that one of the Stadium defensive linemen attempted to make the tackle, and he was laying on the ground, and I think that his feet got caught up with Willett's, and Willett went down to the ground, where it gained still of 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Wolves at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like he might have turned in off the hole there.
South Kitsap, more substitutions. Number 85, Corey Magdaleno, the senior, now in at wide receiver, split to the far side of the field. Austin Beckham also in at wide receiver, another senior. Canton's going to hand the ball off to the tailback, and that is Gundrum, and Gundrum gets to the outside on the counter, puts his head down. Nice run by Gundrum, the ball carrier on that one, and he gets a huge gain all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
He looks like he's having fun out there.
Oh,
Darren.
He is. The senior out there, last home game.
Having a great time. Look at him. He's all fired up. And
already been in the end zone once, and he'd sure love to get into the end zone one more time here.
And it couldn't happen to a nicer kid. He's a really nice kid.
First down, South Kitsap. They have the ball at the Stadium 18-yard line. South Kitsap is on the moves. A lot of substitutions coming in for the Wolves.
And good experience for Cooper Canton right now.
Ryan Camp and Corey Magdaleno are in at wide receiver. Gundrum is going to get the handoff one more time, and he's met right in the backfield, driven backwards. He's not going to get anything. I think they gave us forward progress to the 19. He's going to lose about 1 on the play, where it'll be 2nd and 11. But that time, good defensive stop there by that defensive line for Stadium.
Yeah, they're not giving up, which is nice to see. You know, I mean, they're down, and you start giving up, you start getting hurt, but they're not giving up. So.
Gundrum comes out now, back in at tailback. Chris Willett, the senior. Gundrum and Willett are exchanging now back and forth here at tailback. South Kitsap has a 2nd and 11 from the Stadium 19-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Willett, and he is tackled for a couple of yards forward, down near the 15. We're going to call it the 2 yards on the gain. It's going to be ball will be placed at the 17-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Wolves.
They might try a field goal here if they don't make it on 3rd down. They're close enough.
They might actually try that. We haven't seen a field goal attempt yet by South Kitsap or a punt. They have gone for every 4th down play here. Cooper Canton in at quarterback for the Wolves, the sophomore. Also in at wide receiver is Colby Carter, another senior, split to the far side. Cooper Canton's going to hand the ball off to Willett. He's looking for an opening, but he is tackled from behind. His jersey got grabbed by the defender, and he was able to get down to the 15-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down for the Wolves. And we'll see if they go for the field goal attempt here or not. It doesn't look like they are. I think that Canton is going to stay in. Big Coop gets the play from his coaching father, and South Kitsap comes out. Camp and Carter are split to the far side. Also in is number 99, that's Kyle Wenslick at wide receiver. Canton, and he's going to go for the little pass, and it's caught. Nice job by Camp, and he makes the reception, but gains maybe 1 on the play, and the Wolves are going to turn it over on downs. So a nice stop there by Stadium on defense.
They had that play covered well. They had the lead man and the receiver covered.
So South Kitsap will turn the ball over on downs, and with 7:44 remaining here in the game, South Kitsap still leads 42-3. No scoring here in the second half. South Kitsap had a 42-3 lead at halftime. Stadium came out, advanced the ball a little bit with the running game, but they just haven't been able to get into the end zone. They're going to pitch the ball to the tailback. That looks like Lofton, who tries to cut back up, and nothing doing on that play as Colby Carter comes into the game on defense. And it will be a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Stadium. And I'll tell you, Dennis, I know the coaches aren't talking about it, but we can talk about it up here. A huge game next week for the Wolves as they travel to Silverdale and will be taking on the Central Kitsap Cougars.
Yes, and Central Kitsap is always in that top 4 playoff, vying for playoff spots. And, yeah, it is going to be a big game.
Stadium is going to, there looks like a little bit of mix-up on the play, and they went for that counter one more time, and Scott handed the ball off to the tailback Lofton. Had a little bit of difficulty handing him the ball, but was able to get it, but nothing doing. In fact, I think he lost 1 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 9 for Stadium.
One thing I've noticed when, again, getting ahead, Central Kitsap is they've had a hard time scoring this year. So a ground game like South Kitsap might be just what the doctor ordered for South Kitsap next week.
Scott rolls to his right. He's got a man, and now he's going to throw back across the field to play, and he overthrows his intended receiver. And it looked like the intended receiver was number 22, Jacob Bills, but the pass is incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 9 for Stadium. So we haven't seen a punt from them either all night, but I think this time they are. This will be the first punt of the evening for both sides. Haven't seen one all night.
Yeah. And he does a little side punt thing, hoping you get 20 yards in the air and 20 yards on the ground.
Austin Beckham and Ryan Camp are back to receive the punt, standing around their own 45-yard line. It's going to be a low end-over-end kick. It's going to take a little bit of a stadium bounce and a roll, and it will the Wolves will stay away from it, and it will be downed at the 46-yard line, where the Wolves will take over 1st and 10 with 6:06 remaining here in the game. South Kitsap leading 42-3, and like you said, Dennis, it's going to be a tough game next week, though. You're right, even though Central Kitsap has had a little bit of difficulty scoring some points this year, but whenever you match South Kitsap against Central Kitsap in any football setting, it's going to be a barn burner.
It is, and their defense is pretty good, too, so we'll see what they can do against these runners like Bryce Broom. I haven't seen anybody able to stop these guys yet, so we'll see.
And you just can't get a better setting as South Kitsap and Central Kitsap will square off next week. Silverdale Stadium next Friday. Check your local listings for times. And they're going to hand the ball off to the tailback, the Wolves. We've got more substitutions going on in here. And that time we're trying to get our rosters set here. Looked like that was Gundrum on the run one more time, and now Chris Willett comes in at tailback.
And one thing that we haven't mentioned a lot, we've talked a lot about the running backs, but the offensive line has done a great job this year.
Creating some big holes. Marcus Burke is also in there at fullback, but the line creating some big holes, and they're going to hand the ball off to Willett one more time. And yes, a penalty flag comes flying in. That one's going to be against Stadium because that one's going to be a face mask.
Yep.
That one's going to be a face mask. So tack 15 yards onto that one. But you're right. You know, you get two powerhouse football schools like CK and South Kitsap, and just the rivalry itself is big, and you're going to have some pretty intense moments and a lot of enthusiasm, and everyone's just going to be going crazy. It should be a packed house next week.
And CK's got some big boys on the line too, so it's going to be a big battle up there. And so far, South Kitsap's been up to the challenge. They've matched that, and they keep doing what they're doing. But there's some beef up there on the South Central Kitsap line.
Well, and one of the more significant aspects of that game as they come out here now, that's Marshad DeWalt, who is now in at tailback. Or no, wait a minute, we're going to check that number. That looks like Alex Porkalob, I think, number 47, who slips and falls and gets the handoff. Nope, that's number 43. That is Jordan Gondola. And Jordan Gondola, the sophomore running back, gets the carry, and he is going to have the first down.
It's like we're getting some sophomores in there now.
You bet.
Jordan Gondola is a sophomore.
And it's such a funny angle that we see it from up here, Dennis, that, down there you know it's muddy, but until you actually see the close-up of it on television, then you really get to see how truly muddy it is.
Yeah, white. We got some white pants out there.
You bet. And they aren't going to stay white for very long, I'll tell you that. So back in at tailback, I think, is Gundrum. We'll have to see. And also in at quarterback, we have a new quarterback in there, and he gets to the outside. There goes Gundrum, and he puts his head down. Nice run by Gundrum. In at quarterback is number 9, Logan Knowles, the junior quarterback for the Wolves. And so we got a lot of substitutions coming in here. But like we were saying earlier, Dennis, probably the biggest aspect of it between that Central Kitsap, South Kitsap game, I believe both teams will be heading to the playoffs, but it will just determine what your placing will be, and that will be key heading into the playoffs because one team is going to have to travel quite a distance down near the Vancouver area.
Yeah, 1 and 2 always have a better game than 3 and 4.
And,
so, that's your goal.
May be able to host a game possibly,
yeah,
so we'll have to check the listings and the standings, especially after tonight's games when we get some scores in to see how Central Kitsap did, and also Bellarmine and Olympia to see how the top 4 shape out. That time Logan Knowles handed the ball off to Marshad DeWalt, who was still in at tailback. And we will the clock is winding down here. We've got a 3rd and 3 for the Wolves.
It's Bellerman.
They're going to hand the ball off to DeWalt, who sidesteps his way around off right tackle, keeps his legs barreling forward, and I think he's going to be just a hair bit short of that first down. And South Kitsap is going to have a 4th and short for the first down. Let's call it 4th and 2. Nearing 3 minutes left here as we have a South Kitsap, or excuse me, we have a stadium football player that is down here. So we've got a stadium player down there right near midfield, or just past in the middle part of the field, down near the 35-yard line. But it should be a barn burner next week, helping determine what placing South Kitsap and Central Kitsap will have at the playoffs after that.
Yeah.
So South Kitsap, they're just temporarily there. There was a player that was shaken up for Stadium. That was number 52 for the Tigers. The linebacker, that was Cooper Hayes.
And I think after discussion with our color commentator here that I think South might be in 3rd.
I've heard
Bellerman, yeah.
I think it depends on how the other teams did tonight.
Right.
And but with a win here tonight, I think that South Kitsap would remain in 3rd place if they are not if they aren't already there. But next week's games will be, and Logan Knowles, and he turns around and he slips on the mud, and he goes down near the 36-yard line where the Stadium Tigers will take over on downs. But they'll have everything all figured out in the morning when we see what the standings are after we get on all the final scores. If anybody is interested, every Friday night, if you tune in to 950 KJR Sports Radio, 950 KJR F or AM on the radio dial, they always do a complete makeover or a complete review of all football scores around the entire state of Washington. And they get scores called in, and they'll help update standings if possible. And they do a really great job and have been doing that for the last couple of years now. So South Kitsap turns the ball over on downs as Stadium is going to hand the ball off, and it is fumbled. A new quarterback is in for Stadium. A lot of substitute players coming in as well. Nice job there on the tackle by number 67 for the Wolves. That's Jake Stanley. And we've got more substitutions coming in here as the clock is winding down with nearing 2 minutes to play here in the game. South Kitsap with a 42-3 lead. That's what the score was at halftime. And they won't need any more here to go on to the victory. So
looks like Coach has gone with some reserve players, juniors and seniors that haven't played. Weren't starting or playing a lot this year.
That's right. As they come in, and the ball is fumbled once again, and it's picked up by Marshawn DeWalt. There was a fumble. He picks it up, and he fumbles the ball himself, but he recovers it down near the 22-yard line. So there was a mishap on the snap, and Stadium fumbled, and that is their 4th turnover of the night. Marshawn DeWalt, who was in at linebacker, picked it up, started running with it, and then a linebacker for Stadium grabbed him from behind, and DeWalt started dragging him a little bit, but he ended up hanging. He let go of the ball and fumbled it himself, but he was able to recover it. So anyways, I think that right now currently South Kitsap is in 4th place in the standings, and heading into next week's game they will be in 4th place. That's why it will be a critical game with Central Kitsap, as they could move up in the standings to possibly 2nd or 3rd. So there is a timeout on the field here with just under 2 minutes, 1:44 remaining here in the game. South Kitsap leads Stadium 42-3. No scoring here in the second half, but none needed by South Kitsap. The second half has gone by pretty quick here tonight. But it's been actually a great night of football here. Rained a little bit earlier. Looks like the rain has subsided, but still wet, muddy conditions down there on the field, Dennis.
Yeah, it's a nice job with Eric Canton getting some of the other players in some playing time today. It's always important when you're looking at the end of the year, if maybe there's some kids, the starting people get injured, or even for next year. So That's nice to see.
So South Kitsap will come out here. They have a new quarterback in. That's Michael Fitch, the junior for the Wolves. The tailback is the senior Chris Willett. They're in the I formation, and there is a fumble on the snap as well. Fitch fumbled the ball but was able to recover it, and it's going to be second down. And Dennis, looks like it's really hard to hang on to that football now.
Yeah, I don't know. Even it's not even getting to the running back before so it's pretty slippery out there.
But South Kitsap is in no hurry here to run any kind of plays. They're going to maybe run one or two more plays here and let that clock run out. The clock ticking down. They're going to send in now. That's Josh Franklin, sprints to the wide far side. And Fitch is going to hand the ball off to Willett. He's got a little bit of running room straight up the middle. He inches his way down to the 19-yard line where it will be third and long for the Wolves. Now there's under a minute left here in the game, and I think South Kitsap is going to run one more play if they don't take a knee, and that should do it. So Michael Fitch is in at quarterback. More substitutions are in there. South Kitsap has a 3rd and 6, but this should be the last play of the game. In at tailback is the senior Alex Porkalob, who is standing at his 25. They're going to pitch Porkalob the ball. No, that's not Porkalob. That's number 43. That's Gondola, who takes the pitch. Joey Gondola, and he had the run earlier, but that is going to do it, as South Kitsap is just going to let the clock run down. They won't need to run another play here, as South Kitsap is going to go on and defeat the Stadium Tigers 42-3 here at the homecoming game. The final game, the final home game for the South Kitsap High School football seniors, as they win here tonight, the homecoming game 42-3 over the Stadium Tigers here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School. We're getting more information in that South Kitsap currently is in 4th place with a possible 3-way tie. And they could go to 2nd if South Kitsap beats Central Kitsap next week. So there's a pivotal game at Silverdale Stadium. You can check for your local listings. South Kitsap runs their overall record to 6-2, 4-2 in league, and they have a key matchup next week against the Central Kitsap Cougars. So, Dennis, we'd like to thank you for joining us here in the booth again tonight. And you joined us earlier in the year, and you did a fantastic job. We hope to see you again next year. Final home game here for the TV broadcast.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I had a great time, and hopefully I got better.
You did a great job. I really appreciate you taking the time and filling in here tonight with me in the booth. So once again, a quick recap. The South Kitsap Wolves come up on top with a 42-3 victory over the Stadium Tigers here at the homecoming game on the campus of South Kitsap High School. And for Dennis Anderson, and we would like to thank the Mr. Gary Grams and the production of the South Kitsap High School Marching Band for a great homecoming performance here tonight with all of the wonderful homecoming festivities. Tomorrow night is the homecoming dance here at South Kitsap High School. But more importantly, we couldn't have done any of this without the help of Mr. Mike Downham and the South Kitsap Video Production crew. They do such a great job every year with the TV production. We've got a great group of video production students.
And I'd just like to tell Mike Downham thanks a lot for asking me to do this, and I got donuts on Monday.
Attaboy, I might have to come find you guys, and,
Let's go
hang
whoop
out
it up.
with you. You bet. So thanks again for joining us here tonight. Once again, South Kitsap with a 42-3 victory over the Stadium Tigers. And next week, the South Kitsap Wolves travel to Silverdale Stadium to take on the Central Kitsap Cougars. Check your local listings for time. Thank you for joining us here, and we'll see you next week.